Man, we got a lot to talk about today, man. We talking about there's an AI boom going on. We asking ourselves, are we in an AI boom or are we in a .com bubble? We need to talk about that, right? We need to talk about, today we're gonna talk about the wealth gap and how the Fed is actually squeezing the middle class with what's going on right now. We're gonna talk about how we are about to spend more money on paying the deficit than we have paying, watch this, defense. That's right, we're paying more money on the deficit than we have with defense, paying for defense for the country. We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about how we passed 35 trillion in debt. Like we definitely gotta talk about that. We're gonna talk about Palantir. We're gonna talk about Palantir because people wanna know what's going on. What's good, family? It's your boy, Wallstreet Trappin, man. Welcome to another episode of Trappin Tuesday, man. I think we're on episode 156, huh, Jose? Let's go, man. Listen, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all for making us a part of y'all Tuesday, man. We don't take this for granted. We don't take this as y'all supposed to come here. We take this as a sign of just gratitude, right? The gratitude of you all being here, the gratitude of you all letting us in your living room, the gratitude of you all, watching us on the iPad while you in the kitchen. We just appreciate it. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Let's get to it, man. Yeah. Oh, boy. There we go. Niggas need some healing today anyway. All right. So, listen, we gonna get straight to it, man. I'm gonna be real with y'all. Some people on Patreon said, Trap, you gotta give us a I have a dream speech today. And I said, you know what? I'm not. Today, I just wanna keep it simple. We have entered a game that will test us. Not just financially, though. Emotionally. It will test you mentally. Because one thing about the market is one day it'll give you everything you dreamed of. One day it'll do everything that you thought it can do. One day you see it and immediately you say to yourself, why haven't I been doing this all my life? And then the next day, it take it all from you. And you have to be willing to navigate every one of those feelings, every one of those emotions. It'll be hard pressed for me to tell you, man, you can't be emotional with the market, right? We love to say that. But that comes with time. That comes with experience. That comes with longevity. Experience doesn't always mean that you win every trade. Experience doesn't always mean that you see the exact setup that you're looking for every time. Experience doesn't mean that you won't even miss some trades. Experience simply means that every day you showed up for the market, you put your gloves on, you put your vest on, you put your mouthpiece on, and you fought. See, unlike boxing and unlike football and unlike baseball, unlike maybe even some of the other sports, in this game you can't go undefeated. I've never met one trader or one investor who went undefeated. They say, I've never lost a trade. Every buy and hold company that I purchased, it went through the moon. Every Forex trade I made went crazy. Every Bitcoin trade I went crazy. Like every trade I do, I got diamond hands. Everything I do go crazy. I've never met one of those. So I'm not gonna say that it's impossible because nothing is impossible in this world. What I will say is you have a 99.9% chance of losing in trading. So I come to you to say, saying, no emotional decisions. And what I mean by no emotional decisions is just because you see the red candle don't mean that you gotta close the iPhone, close the iPad, and give up on the game. I'm not saying that you won't get frustrated. I'm not saying that some days it'll mess your whole day up. I'm not saying that some days you'll lose some money and then you'll get a bunch of news on top of that. And you're like, bro, where did this come from? Today of all days? Because it becomes a little bit easier to take your stock market losses when a lot of other good stuff is going on. You can brush it under the table, right? You go, all right, cool, like this happened. I got promoted on my job, or I did this, or I did, like it's easy to wash those days off. But the days when you lose the money and you get laid off and your girl break up with you and the food went spoiled and you ran out of gas and you lost your credit card and your child messed up in school and the principal called and you got a flat tire and the engine got messed. All that happened in one day, but you gotta say no emotional decisions today. So I'm not gonna stay long. I just want to tell you, you gotta be able to move past that in order to win this game. See, you didn't inherit the financial stability. Let me rephrase that. You didn't inherit the emotional financial stability. You don't know what it's like to get 10,000 in the market, and you don't know what it's like to get 20,000 in the market. You don't know what it's like to get 100,000. You got to experience all of those different stages so that when you experience all those different stages, it becomes the DNA that you can look back on every time you move forward. So now if you've been through February and March, you can look at this and be like, bro, I went through February, April, May, I went through that, so I'm good. If you before that, you can say, hey, I went through November of last year, I'm good. I went through October, August, I'm good. So what happens is as you move forward and you meet adversity, you get to look back at the hardships and say, hey, I'm built for this. No emotional decisions, y'all. No emotional decisions. And so I'm not gonna stay long today. I'm not gonna be here to inspire you in this speech right here today. I'm not here to make you say, oh, because if I gotta convince you to play the game, then there's a good chance that you probably don't even want to play the game. And I don't want to put you in a position where you really don't want to be here and then something happened to you and then I'd be responsible for it. So I want you to be here because you want to be here. And then when you hear the words that I say, it just reinforces why you really want to be here. Today, no emotional decisions. No emotional decisions. Because I need you to develop that financial armor that is going to take that you need to go to war. Because every day you get in the market, you going to war. I want you to understand, you playing against the big dogs. You going against the JP Morgans. You going against the hedge funds. You going against the Warren Buffett. You going against the Bill Ackman. You going against people that can get on the TV and who can get on CNBC, who can get on any station and say something and move the market against you. You going against people that can tweet certain things that can move the market against you. So every day you actually on a suicide mission. You gotta be actually crazy to play this game. You actually gotta be delusional to play this game. But guess what? Here's what we do know. You can win the game. And sometimes you need a little delusion. Sometimes you need a little crazy. Sometimes you need a little uncommon belief. Sometimes you gotta be willing to step off the doggone boat because you hear something calling you that's bigger than you. So sometimes you gotta be willing to say no emotional decisions. So today, I'm not gonna take long. Today, we got a lot to talk about. Today, we got to move forward. Today, a lot of us got punched in the face. It's okay, no emotional decisions. So today, I just want you to make the declaration to yourself, I'm in it for the long term, but no emotional decisions. Let's go, Jose. I ain't staying there long. I ain't playing with them long like that today. I ain't got time to be doing that with them today. I ain't got time to be doing that with them today. I ain't got time to be doing that with them today.
Hey, well, you said not to convince you. If I got to convince you.
You don't need to be here.
Ooh.
You don't need to be here.
Ooh, can I get a round of applause? I need my own sound effects.
Let's work on you getting a sound.
I need my own.
We're not going to do that. We're not about to do that. We're not about to do that today.
Hey.
And somebody reminded me in a Patreon, they were like, bro, we need you to trap. So he didn't say we need you to say trap. You're going to have to give them newbies I have a dream speech today. I say, I'll be down. I'll be down. I'll be down. I'll be down. So thank that person for that. 10 minutes and I'm out.
Let's go.
10 minutes and I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that with y'all then.
Yeah.
Right? We're not convincing nobody. Moving forward. Either all I want to do moving forward is just All I want to do moving forward is anchor you to the belief that you belong here. That's it. We not convincing people. We not persuading is the word I'm looking for. We're not persuading you to be in the game. Somebody said, Chad, that was a cold-blooded 10 minutes. Hey, listen. We in and out, man.
Yeah, in and out like a bandit. You know what I'm saying? They used to do B&Es.
Who?
B&Es. I'm doing too much.
Oh, breaking and entering? Yeah. Bro, I've never called that in my life, but I knew that. I was like, what? B&Es? I had to remember what that is. I'm going to plead the fifth.
Okay, bet.
I'm going to plead the fifth.
Sometimes I'm hot pocket, so I got to make sure
flush Jose, man. Flush Jose early in the show. Jose asked me, didn't I used to do B&Es? Bro, what are you talking about? Heal. That got to be healed, man. All right, man. So we got a dope show ahead of us today. We want the people to know that, Jose. Like, I think it's important that the people understand. Let's get the likes up. Oh, did Steve make the graphic? Hey, I want to say something right quick. We got a big announcement, Jose. I'm talking about for the... Tell him make that. Now. ASAP. He was supposed to make that. I wanted to announce that tonight. I gotta wait. Tell him we need that. He got all the information. Tell him drop that. He needs to drop that. All right, so we got a lot to talk about today. We are about to, what we're about to do, we are about to say the mantra right quick. Let's get our mantra going, bro. Hey, bro, I got a question for y'all moving forward. Steve, Nick, Jose, when y'all put the thumbnails up for the show, make sure I got a haircut.
That is true, because you do got a fresh joint.
Come on, bro. Come on. Y'all gotta look out for your boy, bro. I'm looking at the thing and I'm like, bro, that's cool, but bro, I look like Wolfman Jack. Come on, bro.
I'm gonna eat that, because I saw it, but then we had a lot
and you
of
saw
stuff.
it.
We had a lot of other stuff going on, and I was like,
man, flush Jose again, because he saw it. Flush Jose again, because he saw it.
That was on me.
He saw it. And still left me out there like that. Jose the type of person that let his dog go out in the club or something with a hole in his shirt. That's Jose.
Not
hey,
the
Queen,
hole.
I see Nat in the building. Listen, I gave my girl, my girl was in Miami, right? My girl was in Miami, and I know how much she loves Miami. She loves Miami. You hear me? Like, she loves Miami. Not the South Beach part, but just she like being there. She lived there. I'm gonna be real. I told somebody this, bro. Like, before I moved in my house, I had a nice condo. I never even told her this. I had a nice condo. And then I went to her shit and got pissed off. I went to her condo in Miami, bro. So mind you, I should stay in the hotel when I go down there. I stay in the same region, Man, I went down, so she invited me to the crib, the first time I go to the crib, it was nice. It's one of them nice ones, right? So you go there, people you gotta show your ID, and only one person can let you up. Like, nobody gets the card to nobody's room, the door room. So I get the card. She told the people to let me up. The people hit the thing to let me up. To open the door up, I go right into her spot. This was new to me. I'm a hood nigga. I still got residue on me, right? I go into the crib, I get off the elevator, I'm like, oh, I gotta probably take my shoes off right here, right? Good thing my grandma always said, what? Clean socks, clean drawers, clean t-shirt. You never know. Now, I don't know what that got to do with nothing, but I just kept that in my head. So I get to the house, I take my shoes off, I spin the bin in the crib. Nigga, that shit was immaculate.
I spin the bin, though.
Yeah, because you walk in and it was one little thing, and then I had to go around and spin the bin. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. I see plush floors and stuff, and I look, bro, it's a long-ass window looking on the beach. She on like the 37th floor. Nigga, turquoise water, all I see. I said, oh my God. And the other side was the city. I say, she get money.
You started counting her pocketbook now.
I say, she get money. I say, my little condo ain't shit. I got 2,000 square feet. She got about 5.
And your view had the construction.
My view, and the people just messed my view up building another condo on side me. I said,
Cranes and
okay.
stuff.
So she wound up having to move anyway though, man. And so I told her that, I said, you know what, man? I'm gonna get you back to Miami, you hear me? And so she was in Miami. I went to Miami, I had to take care of something. She went to Miami, so she was down there a couple of days. And I said, you know what, babe? She just was lit up. I said, you know what? Huh? Yeah, so I said, you know what, babe? Stay another day on me. Let me cash out you something. Go get you a massage. Go get your nails and stuff done. Go dilly-dally around Miami. So she dilly-dallied all day yesterday, man. And I ain't gonna lie, I ain't seen her that happy in a minute. And I know we done some stuff, but I know that's what she won't be at. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna make it my duty to, at some point, I got a lot going on right now. So I told her, don't be looking for it in the next year. I got a lot going on. But I'm gonna get you back there, babe. I'm gonna get you. I know that's where you won't be at. All right, anyway, let's get to it, man. So enough of my story time. Let's go, man. Mantra, man. I am a certified Wall Street trapper. I'm confident in my ability to make great investments. The stock market is a machine that prints money, and I'm more than capable of operating this machine. Not only will I free myself, but my family will eat for a lifetime based on the information I apply today. I'm a money maker and a wealth builder. Today, I break all the chains that anchor me to that poverty mindset. My ancestors will smile now because I've turned our last name into an asset. My family's purchasing power will increase indefinitely. Today, I make the declaration that no longer will I be a slave to money, no longer will a generation behind me inherit lack, no longer will I submit to selling my time for money. I am a first-generation millionaire. I am the architect of my family's legacy. I am a certified Wall Street trapper. And Wall Street looks like us now. Let's go, man. Let me say something, too, about that. Mind you, watch this, Jose. Before I had the show, I actually mapped the show out on her balcony. She still got the video. Bro, that's how much, it was a vibe. I was like, well, this is good.
Yeah.
I like that.
Like a vacation.
Yeah, like I was sitting on her balcony, and before I mapped out Trappin' Tuesdays, I mapped it out on her balcony. Like, this how the show, because I was doing it already, but I stopped it. My 2 homies got killed. So I mapped it out on her balcony. She still got the video. I was like, babe, check this out. Man, look at it. Yeah, so shout out to that, man. Anyway. All right, so I want to say something to y'all before we get into this. So this weekend, we doing something phenomenal. I know a lot of people going to be in town this weekend, so we decided to do something free. On Saturday, at what time? Throw it up. We doing something free this Saturday. Not here, stock market in the streets. We bringing it back to the A. You heard me? Free to the public. You heard me? Robert Cook Senior Park, the historic Vine City. That's right. We in the trap. Yeah, that's right. Come out. Don't bring that BS with you. We doing it for free. I want y'all to snapshot this. I want as many people as I can to share this. I'm going to repost it on my page all day, every day. Snapshot this. If you're in Atlanta this Saturday from 4 to 5:30, we bringing the whiteboards out. We going over trading. That's right. We going to bring the whiteboard out. If you in the city, that's right, in the A from 4 to 5. Right? That's right. Somebody said, oh, Trap going in the hood. Y'all know that's where I feel best comfortable at. You know what I'm saying? That's why I feel.
It's the hood. We was out there yesterday.
Huh? Oh, for sure. For sure.
It looked nice, though.
For sure.
Revitalized
for sure.
it.
There's a little revitalization going on, but that's what we going at. You know why? Because that's where the most help is needed. They don't need the most help in Buckhead. They don't need the most help in these other, Alpharetta. You know where they need the most help at? In the Bluff. Old Nat. That's where we went last year. Right? So this year, this Saturday, this is where we going at. I know a lot of people going to be in the city, so we want to just give maximum value. So we're going to be stock market in the streets. Bring your phones, bring your notebooks. We coming.
Might want to bring your chairs. You might well bring your chairs and your water.
Well, we gonna have water.
I know we're gonna have water, but I'm just saying.
We don't know how many people gonna show up.
Yeah, it's hot.
So we gonna have the water. Well, we doing it at a good time from 4 to 5, so it's coming down a little bit.
A little bit.
Little bit. So, yep, come in. That's what we going at. Look up for it. I'll post it on my page too, but make sure y'all take it. All we going through number. We going through how to get in the market. We going through how, Nettie said, Trap, why you just not saying something? I thought about it last night, literally. No, what is last night? It was Sunday. I hit Jose's girl like, Ash, I got an idea. You know why I love Ash? Because she be with the same bullshit I be with.
Oh, all day.
She's like, oh, I got it. Let's go.
Yep.
Let's go. So, historic, Vine City, free to the public, Rodney Cook Senior Park, 4 o'clock to 5:30, y'all. We there. Pull up. It's all love. For free. Bringing a whiteboard, bringing a pen and a pad. And we going to get on these charts. We going to talk about it.
asked if we're going live on the Patreon. See, they ain't trying to make us work.
Who said that?
Double R asked if we're going live on Patreon.
We might just.
I got to figure it
live
out.
on Instagram, but we'll do something. But that's what we doing, y'all. Just wanted to put that out there. Let's get to it, man. We got a lot to talk about tonight, and we got to cover it. All right, my goal is to try to stay on track. All right, so let's get to it. We on a charge for, oh, there we go. I see what y'all doing. I see what y'all doing. All right, so what we gonna do right now, let me move this out the way. We're gonna get on these charts right quick. Trap on the chart. Charting with Trap. Let's get it. All right, let me pull this out. And I just found something out too, y'all. I just found out how to go live in the Patreon. So y'all about to really stop seeing me go live on Instagram. I'm just keep it 100 with you. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I'm about to be in the Patreon all the time talking to them. So for sure. All right, let's get to it, man. We got the charts pulled up. All right, we're gonna run through this right quick, y'all. We're gonna go through the SPY, we're gonna go through QQQ, and then we might look at a couple other ones just to get you going, to see where we are. All right, so here we go, man. Let's get it. Make sure, hold on. There we go. Oh, I done learned another button. Watch this, Hashan. Watch this on the screen. Can you see the screen? Can you see the screen? Watch this. Watch this on the screen. Watch that thing slide over. Ooh, I learned another button. All right, so here we go. We're going to get on the chart right quick. Right, you see it? It just popped over. Come on. Stop acting like you're blind. You don't see the chart move all the way over? I'm watching it. Anyway, get back on the camera. All right, let's get on this chart right quick, man. So we're going to show y'all something. We're going to show what we're looking at, show y'all what I seen, and this is one of the things we're doing in the Patreon too. All right, so here we are right here. Let's pull this out first. Let's get this high. Let's get this brush right here. So this is our current candle, right? This is our current candle. So we're looking at that current candle. Oh, let me change the color on that because they might can't see it in green. Let me change the color on that. All right, let me change the color on that. All right. There we go. All right, so let's get into it, y'all. We working this. All right, so here's our current candle right here. We already understand it. Let's blow the screen up a little more. Boom. Ooh, look, that boy rolling right now. Oh, wait, what happened? Can't get too big. Don't get beside yourself, Trap. All right, so here's our current candle. All right, so let's circle our current candle. So as we can see today with this current candle, we see that the bears, right now we're looking at a daily chart, right? We see for a fact that the selling pressure has now entered the market, right? So we're looking at the daily, but let's go a little further. Before we even get on this daily chart, so here's what we're gonna do first. Before we get on this daily chart, wait, why is this looking like this? All right, there we go. Before we get on this daily chart, let's do this. Boom. Where are we on the month? Right, where are we on the month? So the first thing we see is on the month, we see that the month of August, we still good, right? So we see that month of August, we still see buying pressure. You still see buyers are still in control. Also, what we see with buyers being in control, and again, everybody have a different way of doing something, just walking through Trap's way, right? We see that upward trend, which is buyers setting steps on steps on steps on steps. So we like that. Buyers are still in control. on the monthly, which is good. Like, we want to see that. For me, I like to go through every version of this because once I see what's happening on the monthly, then the next thing we'll do is go to the weekly. Aha, let's go. Now, on the weekly, what do we see? Now, on the weekly, we're going to start on this red candle right here. Now, here's what I want to tell you something. This is important what I'm about to tell you about this. On this red candle right here, what I want to tell you, this red candle is caught between this green candle and this green candle, which means buyers have trapped some sellers in right there. Ooh, ooh. So the buyers have trapped some sellers in right there, right? Now, let me tell you what's important about the second green candle that's behind the red candle. Notice this is considered an inside bar of a candle. You know why? Because the buyers didn't completely take over the sellers over there, so the sellers still had some type of what? Presence. Come on, y'all. All right, tell us that sellers still had some type of presence. Now, here's what gives it a little more clarity. You got two green candles that's trapping a red candle, but the red candle is still larger than both green candles. Listen to me. So if the red candle is still larger than both of the green candles, that means the sellers still have some pressure there. Now, here's where this candle comes in that makes it a little bit better. Because then you get the next green candle now, which overtakes that red candle. So that means this candle tells us, the two back-to-back green candles tell us that buyers have stepped their aggression up a bit more, right? So 2 weeks in a row, it tells us that buyers have done what? They have stepped the pressure up, means they got a little more aggressive because the sellers were still like, yeah, you punched me in the face, but you didn't really knock me out. Like, I'm still here, right? You stop playing with me, I'm still here. So the buyers stepped their game up a little bit more. Now, here's what's interesting. Here's what we have to look at. Now we have to look at this candle right here. Now, true enough, we are only into the second day of the week, but we know as of the second day of the week, based on what's happening right now, sellers have now stepped in and said, you know what? Run it back. Now, we still have Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Now, let's get into this before we get into Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Wednesday, we want to see if Wednesday is going to be a continuation of today. We're going to look at that on the daily. But also remember, there's a catalyst to this week. What is the catalyst to this week? The catalyst to this week is Jackson Hole. This is when they don't have a Fed meeting, but this is when the big dogs get together and talk about what is the Fed going to do moving forward. So the goal is for them to talk about having a rate cut next month. Right? So right now, there's about a 75 to 80% chance of a rate cut next month. That's cool. That's cool. That can be a catalyst to move forward. We're going to dig into that some more tonight. But there's also a percentage based on what we heard last week. What did we hit last week? We saw that the wholesale numbers came in really, really high, actually higher than it's ever been. What does that mean? That means the people who getting the goods from where they're getting it from, the prices have went up on them. So because the price have went up double on them, where do you think that price is going to fall down to? It's going to fall down to us. Now, the dope, the thing about that time, boy. The thing about that is, previously to that, we had a CPI report that came in that said what? Inflation was what? Cooling off. So now what you have is contradictory reports. That's the part I wanted to get to. Now we're having contradictory reports. We're saying a report saying that CPI is coming down, which can be true. But we also had a report said the producer price index is going up. It actually doubled what they were expecting. So that means tariffs and inflation are here. Okay. So that kind of drove the market down. But let's be more realistic into that. Look how the sellers were really strong in that. Even though we got that information on a Wednesday or Thursday, I can't remember which one, the buyers were so strong, they actually shook that off. Okay, and now we're going to dig into why does that make sense here? Because that means, now watch this, even on this green candle we have here, notice it's really what's called a small body green candle, which tells us even though the sellers were in position, they may have gotten a little exhausted. Okay, we trapping. All right. Let's go a little further. Now we're going to get into the daily. Now, as we get into the daily, let's look. Okay, Now, we're going to erase all this off the screen because we got to get to it. We got to get to it. I don't want to just press the reset button. Oh, I forgot I could do this. Bam, 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 bam. I don't want to do that. All right, let's get into it. Y'all trapping with me? How y'all feeling? Let me know how y'all feeling in the chat. We're not going to be here long, but we're going to take care of some business. All right, so here's what we got. Now, if we're looking at this chart right here, here's what we know. We have an uptrend here. So we have this uptrend here, which is good. And then you have some what's called slight consolidation. Not a lot. So this red candle right here, yes, I understand it drove a lot of y'all crazy, but here's what I want you to understand. The red candle still held its ground. So the buyers did step in, but they held their ground. They didn't take complete control, but they let it be known that they were present. How do we know they didn't take complete control? Well, the reason that we know that they didn't take complete control is because I want you to look at something right here. Right here. So I'm gonna make this bigger for y'all so y'all can see it. I'm gonna take it from a dot to a line. I want you to look right on top of here. I'm gonna make this plain for y'all so y'all can see it. We're gonna talk about a couple things that you gotta look at. All right, so I'm gonna move this up. There we go, right there. So let's open it up a little bit for you. All right, so you see that line right there. Well, I'm gonna tell you what that line represents, why we like that line. Because on top of this line right here, which is 639.21, 639.32. Now, what you see is this red candle here was at one time, it was a what? High. Okay, this red candle right here was at one time, it was a high, right? It actually was an all-time high at one point in time, right? So what happened? The red candle hit an all-time high, and then it does what markets do. What do they do when something hit an all-time high? Sells off a little bit. Why? All-time high make people take profits. But it also did what all-time highs do after that. It bounced back up. You know why? Because we like basketballs, not what? Donuts. So after the gap down, here's what happens. Comes back up right here, fills up this gap right here with this green candle. That tells us that what? Buyers stepped in heavy, but also because of this gap up and this continued motion up, we get this right here. What is that, Trap? That becomes a demand zone. Because we get a large green body candle going up, and then we get continuation on that. Now, seller stepped in, but they didn't do what? Take control. Buyers stepped big in on top of that. Why is that good? Because then you see these buyers close, this is the key word I'm about to say here, closed higher than the sellers before. Then you see it opens up higher, pulls down, closes lower, but then you see buyers come back in. So what we see on this step up, we see that buyers and sellers are fighting, but buyers are consistently taking control, right? That means that buyers are consistently taking control, and that's what we like. We like that. So then here's the key point on this trend. The key point we just on a daily, is this right here. This is called the doji. That doji candle tells us that there is an indecision that's happening. So what it tells us is we need to do what? Yellow light. Now, here's the thing. I know some of y'all like to speed up in yellow light. Some of y'all, when the yellow light on, y'all go an extra 15 miles. In the market, don't you speed up on a yellow light. You slow your ass down. Because you're going to get a ticket. Or you might get in a wreck. Oh, I just hit him with a bomb right now. I just hit him with a bomb right there. I just hit him with a bomb right there. I just hit him with a bomb right there. I just hit him with a bomb. Bombs over Baghdad. Come on, man. All right.
That was good. That was a good,
that was good, Sean. You like that?
One.
All right. So then we get this green candle, which tells us, hey, buyers, we good. We here. Buyers step in. But then we get what? Sellers step in. Now, here we go. Here we go. This one right here is important. Doji candle, green candle. It tells us not to be aggressive. Not to be aggressive. Now, here's what I want to say. Let's take all of that off the screen because I'm going to bring y'all somewhere. I'm going to bring y'all somewhere. I'm gonna bring y'all somewhere that's gonna be real cool. All right, here's what I'm about to bring you. Watch this. So what you wanna see is, you wanna actually see the S&P. Here's what you wanna see. You wanna see it bounce off this line and come back up, right? That's what you wanna see. Because we know that it actually did it already. It got to this line, this blue line, and stopped. It halted. You want to see it hit that and go here. If you do see it come down more, the next place you want to see it stop is probably where I'm going to go at with it. Right here. So now you be like, Trap, man, why are you picking that? All right, so here's what we want to understand. Where can we find more balance at where the market, watch this, I'm about to say something that's going to be good right here. Well, you have multiple points where the market agrees with each other at. Okay? Well, you have multiple points where the market agrees with each other at. Now, this is going to be important. Now, here's what you know. If you go over, you'll see this candle that pushed it up. We closed here, and then this candle where I stopped at, we closed here. Now, that means that area became interesting for buyers and sellers. That area became interesting for buyers and sellers. Now, you'd be like, Trap, that's a long way. Now, you could actually say this area right here, if you wanted to. Let me give you another line. Now, I'm going to change this line, and I'm going to go ray on you. I'm about to use my left hand. That's great. Now, the reason I didn't stop the horizontal ray right there is simply because we understand that this wick right here rejects it, right? And so I'm not cool with that. But I like from 639, I like if it comes down to that number at 628, I think that can be a greater point of resistance, of support for us. From there, if it falls down again, it may bounce up again. It may bounce up again, and now you want to see if it's going to come back into that demand zone. If it falls into that demand zone, we know that there are orders there waiting to take. So we'll see it pop up. But we're not going to make a play based on just one chart. So then we go to the 4-hour chart and see what happens. We go to the 4-hour chart, watch this. We want to see if we have multiple time frame agreements. Ooh, come on, y'all. Multiple time frame agreements. We want to see if multiple time frames tell us the same thing. Now, we just make it quick. We ain't going to stay here long. All right, so now we're going to do is, let's shrink this in because we at the 4-hour now. And we need to see. So one of the things we do agree with on the 4-hour, we see what? Our demand zone is in place. And the dope part about that is it fell right in place. So that lets us know that our demand zone is what? Valid. Because the daily and the 4-hour agreed to the demand zone. All right? So now, let's see if we can get some more things to agree. Okay? We see that agreement take place. Look at that, y'all. Right here. Now, here's the dope part about it. Why is it doing that? Look at that. So, watch this. That gave us a little bit more clarity. So instead of being 629, it gave us 632 on our 4-hour chart, which means we were still a couple other candles formed in the 4-hour. So it tells us that we was in the right range, right? So we know that if it comes from 639, we know that there can be some type of support found here at 631-ish, 632-ish. There can be some type of support found there. We'll see it bounce there. Here's what we want to do though. We want to see it bounce here, and we want it to come back on top of this. So it can create what, y'all? A lower high. Come on, y'all. The way that higher highs work is we have to have a lower high that the higher high steps on. Now, here's the dope part. It won't do it in one candle. It'll sometimes do it in multiple candles. That's what makes it valid. So that's why we're going to go through multiple time frames to make sure the chart is telling us what we need to see. That makes sense? So we'll take one more chart, and we go to the hour. And we just want to see if the hour agrees with what? The 4 hour. And if the hour agrees with the 4 hour, then we can say, you know what? We on pace. The first thing we see is, in our 1 hour chart, we see our demand zone still intact. What makes it really good is because we have no big candles in the demand zone. We have doji candles in the demand zone. So I really like that, because now we down to the 1 hour. So here's what we see. Same thing. We see that our 632 is in line. We see it here. We see it here. We see it here. We see it here. So we like that. Same range, 632, 631-ish. We like that. Same range. We like that. So that's what we want to see, y'all. We want to see it bounce. Now, when we look at this, we do notice something here. I'm going to open this up a little bit so y'all can see. And this is going to be interesting. This is why you're going to go to multiple time frames. I'm going to show you something that's interesting on here. I'm about to draw something out for y'all. Watch this, y'all. Now, usually I wouldn't do this like this, but I'm doing it so y'all can see it because I know a lot of people are visual learners. Right here, there's a gap right there on the 1 hour. There's a gap right there, right at 633.64. There's a gap right there. And that's going to be interesting because I said something, I looked up this stat, and it said that 72% of the times gaps get filled. So we may see, now here's the dope part. So this is called confluence. When you have multiple things that line up. Now, I want you to think about something. We set our support zone right at 632.15. We see the gap at 633.64, and we see it fills at 632.51, which is right on top of a support. Guess what, y'all? If it falls into that gap and takes control, takes some money in that gap and goes back up, it's sitting right on top of a support zone. So, I mean, that gap is sitting right on top of support. So that's a good sign that that may happen. So I just want y'all to say that. It's not saying it's going to always happen, but we can also see based on the daily, 4 hour, and 1 hour that our support lines up. And then when we got to the 1 hour, we saw, hey, there's a little gap right there. And the gap is only $7 away from where we currently are. And if it fills that, it's right at the support zone and make and take back off. All right, y'all, I'm gone. Trapped in the charts, man. We gone. I love y'all. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. All right, man. We good. Listen, we rocking out. Rocking out, man. Rocking out. And don't be surprised if we go back to it for a second. You hear me? Let's go, let's go, let's go. We good. All right, let's see in the chat right quick, man. How y'all feel about that? How we feel about that? How we feel about that? Shazam said, hey, bro, Trap giving that for free. Follow me down the rabbit hole. All right, so somebody said, hey, man, where you going, bro? All good, man. I just want to help. My goal is to just help us just kind of understand where we going at. You know what I'm saying? And if we can understand where we going at, if we can understand what's ahead of us, if we can understand just some things to look for moving forward, then that can help us as we move forward. So that was this segment of Trap on the Chart. Let's go, man. Let's go. All right, y'all, now we're going to get into this Red Sea over here. We got to show this Red Sea. Red Sea alert, Red Sea alert, Red Sea alert. All right. You know what's dope about this? Of all things, Apple just holding on. Apple just holding on. AMAT let us down. AMAT let us down. That goddamn earnings call blew us out the frame. Costco got to January. CrowdStrike, I gotta take the loss on a CrowdStrike because here's what happened. I thought that the Palo Alto play was gonna boost it up, and it did. But today they had so much selling pressure, it was like, nope, we good. So I gotta take the loss. That's 40 grand out the window. Boom, gone. Shoot me in the head, flush me. So that's gone. I had an option though. I was gonna roll it over if it would have carried the momentum with Palo Alto, I was gonna roll it over. Because I told the trappers, I told people in the Patreon, that's my trappers, I told them, in the cybersecurity space, Palo Alto and CrowdStrike are the two companies that hold that industry on its back. But I love CrowdStrike. Y'all know I've been in CrowdStrike since it was $57. The thing about it is, Palo Alto is now setting itself up, real talk, to become the Salesforce and NVIDIA of cybersecurity. Palo Alto, because they build and ServiceNow, they build an infrastructure, they build in multiple different, they're becoming the go-to of that. So they beat earnings, stock went up $11 last night. So I thought, that's what gave me hope. I said, okay, if they up $11, I'ma see. So I may just wait just to see what crowd earnings gonna do, Sean, see when they earn. I think they got earnings coming up because they always after Palo. I won't see if they can hold up for that, but I mean, it's a wash at this point, man. I ain't down bad, but it is what it is. Let's go a little further, man. All right, here go the Red Sea right here. Here go the Red Sea right here. Here go the Red Sea right here. This is the Red Sea right here. All right, so the Google play turned around on me today, bro. I was mad at that. I'm all right, though. Eli Lilly, wash. Meta, I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed, man. But I'm okay. I got the Meta play to January. I'm really not tripping on that. We put that play in. Somebody said, yeah, Trap threw the towel in on it. Our Netflix play, man, I feel good about the Netflix. Not bad, I feel good about the next play. Those are January calls. I think I told people in the Patreon that today. I said, listen, y'all, our plays are to January. And we did that strategically. We literally said, hey, listen, we're gonna go through a little thing, but I like being in them right now. Now, I will say, based on that push we got, and then based on the Jackson, now I will say this, there is a chance. We still got Palantir. There is a chance. There is a chance. We get some good news out of Jackson Hole this week, and it changes what's going on in the market. Because listen, even though there are sellers here, even though there are sellers here, the buyers aren't gone. The sellers haven't taken over the chart. They haven't changed the trend yet. Pullbacks are necessary so that a higher high can take place. So I don't want you to panic. I don't want you to go crazy. I don't want you to panic sell. I wrote something down that I wanted to remind y'all of. Watch this. Here's what I wrote down. Recognizing a trend in a stock will not guarantee you money. But the better you get at recognizing a trend, the better you get at having trade placement. That's the word I wrote down, trade placement. Why is that? What is trade placement? Trade placement is simply saying you get better at recognizing the trend that's going on. You get better at knowing when exactly to place the trade. Instead of placing the trade at the high of the session, or maybe the mid of the session, if you start to recognize what a trade is at and what the trend has going on, you can now have better trade placement. And that's gonna be, so I want you to write that down in the chat. I gotta get better at trade placement. Somebody say, good look, Trap, top-down analysis. high time frame, directional bias, medium time frame, setup formation, time frame, entry, weekly, daily, 4 hour, 1 hour, 4 hour, 1 hour, 30 minute, 15 minute, yep, 100%. I appreciate you, man. Slave of Christ. I love that name, family. All right, let's go a little further. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right, so the NVIDIA play, bro. I'm gonna be real with you, y'all. I woke up this morning. Watch this, Sean. I said, okay, we in a down market right now. Just for today, I said, I might just take this $68,000. Now, mind you, I got $425,000 in here. And it's a March call. I said, you know what? I'm up 60,000. I said, I'm up 60. It was up. Like last week, it was probably up like, I think Friday was up 96,000. So today it was up like 70,000 at the beginning of the day. And I said, you know what, man? I see this gonna be a red day. I should just take this 70 grand and just go about our business. Let's take the 70 grand, go about our business, and then we'll be all right. You know, it'll probably go lower, probably get it at a better price, it's okay. And then my mind said, stop being a little bitch, dog. Oh, my bad, I'm sorry to you. My bad, Al, I forgot you sitting right now, you heard me? God damn. Shit.
Wait, nobody else? Not me. I don't cuss either. Sorry, Shauna.
My bad, Al. Yeah, man. So I said to myself, stop being a little pip. I said, man, you know what? I'm tripping, man. Yeah, all right. And by the time I got off my therapy session and looked back, I said, what the hell? God, that NVIDIA down 1%. I said, bruh. I said, bruh, what is we? Oh, my God.
And right after the therapy session.
Right after I needed to call her back. Just lost 70,000 listening to you on this phone. Let's get back on let's talk again. Let's talk again.
Part 2.
You feel me? And I was like, bro, stop tripping. We got to play till tomorrow. It's all right. We okay. And I was just, but you know what's still in my mind? I'm right there. I'm right there at break even. You know what I'm saying? I'm right there. So I'm like, yo, I take the 70. I just need one more hit. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, stop being a little. Calm down. I let it go. I'm talking about 1 hour later. I said, Jesus. Anyway, Palo Alto play. Palantir. I want to take a second right quick. Jose. Can we go back to this right quick? And I had this set up for my people because I know they're going to want to look at it. I want to put this on them. I want to put it.
What you about to pull up?
Palo Alto, Palantir.
Oh, okay, bet.
Well, I know this is the one everybody want to look at, so we'll just give them a look right quick before we go, and then we'll head out to where we got to go at. All right. Oh, okay, we good. Damn, that's it? It can't be. Yeah, I'm about to say, you tripping, dog. All right, cool. All right, so let me get into this right quick so I can show my people what we're looking at. All right, so here's right here, and I told my people in the Patreon this right quick. Let me get through this. I told my people in the Patreon right here, boom. I said, listen, this area, 160 is the area that we need to watch. It's the area that we needed to hold. 160 is the area we need to hold. I wasn't mad at us coming get this gap right here. I wasn't that mad at it. We actually talked about it last week. I said, y'all, we probably go get this gap. We're going to snatch them orders up. I said, but we need to stay on top of 160 or 161. We need to stay on top of that. It is important that we stay on top of there. Well, what did Palantir do? It decided to not just close past the 160, but close decisively past the 160 at 157. That means this is all sellers. That means they done punched all the buyers out. That means there are no buyers there. That means no buyers are interested in it right now. That means the sellers have taken control of the ship. Not only have they taken control of the ship, if we look at it right here, we also see that they have broken the structure, right? So they have broken the structure, and then they've closed on top of the line that they were supposed to hold. So not only did they fill the gap, they said, you know what, we want more. That's what the seller said. They say, we want more, right? You want to talk about coke heads? You want to talk about pissing people off? That's what you want to talk about, Alex? Guess what? Push it down, right? Push it down. It's just pissing my stuff off. All right, so here's what we need to look at, y'all. Here's what we need to watch. Here's what we need to pay attention to, right? Sellers are in control. So say that to your head. Say sellers are in control. So if you're in a Patreon, here's what I do not want you to do. I do not want you to say to yourself, I'm going to buy the dip. I'm going to buy the dip. I'm going to buy the dip. I want you to get some confirmation before you buy the dip. The worst thing you can do is buy, listen to me well here. The worst thing you can do is buy in the middle of a tidal wave that's going down. The worst thing you can do. The worst thing you can do is buy in the middle of a tidal wave that's going down. Now, here's what I'm gonna tell you that we probably gonna do. I'm gonna probably wait till it get down somewhere, wait till it give me confirmation that it wants to turn around, and then we'll get into that, right? And then we'll just have 2 plays in. The second play I'll get in will probably be shorter. That way we can make money on the way up, and then once it goes up, we can let the December play out. That is my goal. That is the idea behind what we wanna do, right? The sellers are in control. I want you to understand this again. The sellers are in control. How do we know that the sellers are in control? Let's mark it out for them right quick, Jose, before we go. We're gonna say we have a high right here, this all-time high. And then we have what right here? We got this, a lower high. And then we got right here, a lower high. So we got lower high, lower high. So let me give you an idea. If I'm you, what I'm looking at, I am you, we are the same. So here's what I'm looking at. If I'm looking at Palantir, I'm saying somewhere, let me see where I'm at. All right, so this is a good play right here on top of this. But they probably gonna knock this out the park, 154. You wanna stand on top of 154? I like a stand on top of 154. If you don't stand on top of 154, the reason being, then you're gonna come to this low right here. Why do you come to this low? I'm gonna give you an idea. I'm gonna show you what's really good. It's a difference between higher low, higher high, and then there's a difference between just finding support. We just found some support just now. But here's what we have right here. Let's close this out. I'm gonna do this like this, right? We're gonna push this up. Wait, let me get rid of that. Boom, press it again. Boom, one more time. Boom. I'm gonna take control of it, boom, I'm gonna move this up, all right? So here's what I want you to understand. Watch this, what I'm about to show y'all. This is gonna be essential for y'all. Here, you have a swing low. This is a low, right? And then here, you have a higher low. And then here, a lower high. A higher low, that's right. I'm gonna do this right here, L, H. Then you have another one here, L, H. And then you come here, and you have a lower high. But this lower high is actually a equal low. And then you come here, you have a lower high. And then you come here, and you have a lower high. And then you came right here, you had a lower high. So where would be the next place where you have another lower high? Or you can say here, you had a lower high, which is cool. So the next place that you want to do is, if it breaks this, which is here at 151, and then here, at 144. So those are your lower highs that is in place. So you want to see it bounce off this 154 and go up. Then it may bounce here, go up, bounce here, go up, bounce here, go up. That's kind of what you want to see. That's kind of what you want to see right there. That way you get a lower high, lower high, lower high, blue sky territory. I like to call that butterflies and bumblebees. Yep, higher low. Yep, I know sometimes I be talking fast and I just mix it up, but yep, you got it. I just be talking fast. So you want to see that. This is what you're looking at. You're looking at this right here, right? That's what you want to look at. You have a series of lower highs taking place, right? So what you want to watch is, you want to see if it can bounce on top of that just for that gap, but you want to really look at, if I'm you, I'm looking at that 150, 151, because that's that lower high that if it breaks that, it's now deep into the structure. But, so you understand that it has now broken structure because it filled that gap and broke down. It has broken the structure, and here's what we want to know. I wrote something that you really need to understand. Watch this. I already told you that. Right? Remember this. Once a trend develops, it is a good chance that that trend continues until exhaustion. I'm gonna say it again for y'all. Once the trend develops, it is a good chance that the trend will continue until exhaustion. What does that mean to us, Trap? It means once you see the lower, once it has now broken structure, it is a good chance. And it didn't just break structure mildly. It broke structure with force. So that tells us that the sellers are really strong. It behooves you to start buying Palantir dips right now, unless you're on the buy and hold side. If you're on the option side, right? If you're on the option side, I didn't count the gap as a structure break. That's not what I counted as a structure break. We counted this engulfing bullish candle as a structure break, not the gap. We did not count a gap as a structure break. A gap can never be a structure break. Okay? So what you need to do is wait until the bears get exhausted. You're going to look for a couple things. You're going to look for smaller bearish candles. You're going to look for gravestones. You're going to look for hammers that are reversals. That's what you're going to look for. That's what you're going to look for. Do not get tricked just because you see a green candle pop up that you think, hey, it's back on the upside. You need to then see the buyers take out a previous what? Come on. Come on. All right, I'm going on a Palantir play. Let's go to what we got to go to. Just want to get my people going. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on. Come on. We topped out. All right, Freedom Index. Damn, I forgot. We had Spotify. We still had the Spotify play. We still had the Netflix plays. Both of the Spotify plays was up. There we go. Spotify up. We good on that. The Palantir play is down. Visa play is down. There we go. We good. Everything is out to December. The spot play is out to October. I might wait a couple of days. I might just get out of that 650 call. It's good. I ain't got to hold on it. I might take that. Matter of fact, I might take that in the morning. I ain't tripping. We good on that. Ain't no need to play around with that no more. Let me take that profit, add to what we got going on, so we'll have one Spotify play that in December. Everything then gets out December, January, February. There we go. Let's go. All right, if you want to just get in that, man, come join the Patreon, man. We just found out a really, really, really dope thing that I found out that's really good, that we can go live on the Patreon. So no matter what tier you in, I just told my option tiers, one of the things I'm going to start doing is just going live, doing stuff like this, just with them every day, all day. Not every day, but throughout the week, just, hey, y'all, whether it be before the bell, whether it be after the bell, no matter which tier you in, but then we still have the top tier that do the call once a month. So we'll definitely be doing that. And then if you're in my buy and hold tier, just the lottery pick, I'll be actually doing some lives now. Like if we put a lottery pick in, which is the buy and hold, we'll go live and we'll just break down the lottery pick live so you can see it. So that's what we're doing. Devin, leave me alone, bro. Devin say, bro, you still ain't got that G8? You still ain't got that AJG? I trap hard head ass. All right, so let's get to all that, man. Come join the Patreon, man. Let's go. Jose put the link in the chat. Let's go. All right, we still got AJG, Costco, CrowdStrike is messing my stuff up. CVLT, Goldman Sachs, Meta, Netflix, NVIDIA, Palantir, Sprouts, Farmers Market. We was up 24% last week, 19% today, Sean. So that's where we at, man. Minus 16,000 today. So anyway, let's go, man. Let's go a little further. Word on the street. Let's get to it, y'all. All right, man. Wall Street has a bull market, and Main Street has a recession. Which one are you in? So we think about this is, man, I'm just looking at it from the perspective of Wall Street is still up 10%. The S&P is still up 10% year to date. Right in the mid-year. So that means we still up double digits. I think right now it's still at 6,400. I think some of the higher banks has it at maybe 65, 66. No, they got it closing the year at 65, between 65 and 67. I had 68. So we'll see how that go. For me, I just look at a couple things that are really interesting as trappers that I think that we need to look at that are really, really important. And I think for us, when I say that Main Street becomes the everyday people. For me, it's which situation are you in, right? And I wrote this down because it's important. So if the U.S. is $33 trillion in debt, if interest that we are paying now, this year alone, is bigger than what we spent on defense, but yet the stock market is up 10% year to date, where does that leave us at? When we know that at least the top 10% of people in America, we understand that their wealth is tied to what? Stocks. So if their wealth is tied to stocks, and you'll watch this, what I'm about to say here. If their wealth is tied to stocks and your wealth is tied to your paycheck, who wins the battle? If their wealth is tied to stocks and your wealth is tied to the paycheck, who wins the battle? I need us to understand that yes, the market does have down days, but it's imperative that we keep playing the market because the market is how we actually gain ground. Now, we'll never catch up to where they at, but we don't have to. What we can focus on, what we can be doing is saying, yo, moving forward, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be investing, I'm going to be trading. And then I wrote something down on my phone that was really cool. And I said that, I wrote this down. Some investors have lost about $3.7 billion in mini cap, in micro cap, just betting on small things, right? And the FBI has a complaint that up to 300% of the platforms have some type of person doing some type of scheme on a platform. This came from the FBI, right? So here's what I want to ask you a question is, if people don't have faith, and here's what I've learned about us, we don't have faith in the market because we're not familiar with the market. I'll say it again. We don't have faith in the market because we're not familiar with the market. The wealthy people have faith in the market because they not only familiarize themselves with the market, they've made it a generational instrument to build wealth. They've made the market a generational instrument to build wealth. So they do a few things with the market. So think about this, exhaustion. So most people in the lower and middle class, guess what they say? That's what they say. They say, my check is exhausted. So because you are using your paycheck to build everything, using your paycheck to pay bills, using your paycheck to save, using your paycheck to invest, but you're not really investing because you're paying bills, using your paycheck to put food on the table, using your paycheck to buy clothes. Well, what you gotta start doing is we gotta start incrementally saying, I gotta increase how much of my paycheck that I'm putting in some type of investment that gives me a better return. Well, what they do is initially out the gate, what the wealthy people are doing is saying, I'm gonna take the first percentage of my paycheck and put it in the market. And that becomes the part of me that then builds my future. So what we gotta start doing is making it watch this, a prerequisite. Investing in the market has to become part of our family business model. Investing in the market has to become part of our family business model. Now, this is what I'm about to say here. Trading does not have to become the prerequisite, but investing in the market does. Building that two portfolios, building that Roth IRA and building that primary buy and hold account has to be a prerequisite. Why? Because the Roth IRA allows us to be wealthy when we old, and the primary account allows us to build wealth along the way. And then what happens is you get to then borrow against the investments and not borrowing money from the bank like that based on what your income is. You can borrow it based on your assets. And the reason why we can't gain ground is, one, we think the market is a scam, and two, we don't, watch this, we don't trust ourselves financially. Let's go a little further, Jose. All right, every bear market eventually becomes a chart that you brag about surviving. That's said about a motley fool. One of the things I always say to us is, if you made it through this, you can get through that. And the reason why we say that it becomes a reflection reflectionary tool, excuse me. It becomes a reflectionary tool that we can use to look back on and say, hey, I got through this, so I know I can get through that. So if you're in a Patreon and you say, hey, we had a down day today. All right. There go my girl ass. What's good, family? I love you so much. If we can say, hey, I made it through March and April, so I had that May, June, July, that 90-day run. Bro, if it pulled back on me a little bit late August, I'm all right. I done got some wins. I done got some of that bread back. Majority, at least 85, 90% of that bread back. If I ain't got it all back, I bet I'm ready to move forward. But when you fresh in the market, it takes time to build that wherewithal up. But remember what we said, y'all, no emotional decisions. It's meaning. This is part of the game. Now, those decisions amplify when you play in the market, which is why we try to buy some more time. We don't got to buy a bunch of time. We buy a little more time so we can have a chance to navigate those situations. So I want you to put that in your head. Every bear market eventually becomes a chart that you can brag about. Here's the dope part about it. Your DNA becomes part of that chart. Why? Because you made money at this point, you lost money at this point, you made money at this point, you lost money at this point. It becomes a part of your financial genetics. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I got to write that one down. Financial genetics. We got to trademark that one. I got you, Dave Ramsey. I beat you to it. I beat you to it on that one, Dave Ramsey. Financial genetics. I like that one. Let's go a little further, man. All right. Everyone wants 10 times returns, but few can stomach the drop of 50% that comes first. This is key right here. You know why this is key? Listen. I want you to think about something. When the market fell in April, how good did it feel when you start seeing them 50, 60 sitting on your, you got NVIDIA from 83 to 100. From 83 to 115. You got Palantir from 47 to 100. You got Goldman Sachs. These are the things. I'm going to tell you something. When we trying to catch stuff when it's at all-time highs, it becomes difficult to make huge plays because you already got an input in your brain, hey, a pullback is coming. And you don't know how intense it's going to be. So you play the odds. You say, you know what? I can be in this play right here. And I said something to Patreon people. I say, hey, because we know it's August, because we know it's going to September, position size becomes your risk management. Don't put the same type of money that you was putting in June, in May. Now, I felt good because I felt like we got NVIDIA on the pullback. Look what happened. It pulled back some more. I got to live with that. I said, you know what? I got enough time on it. I'll be all right. But when you see markets keep screaming all-time high, all-time high, all-time high, and it come back a little bit, you got to be willing to say, hey, it's at an all-time high. Let me watch it for a little bit. Let me show y'all something right quick. Let's go to this right quick, Jose. I just want to show them something right quick. Y'all done got me started with this goddamn thing. I'm still be on time, though. You can't tell me that this ain't just consolidation at the top of this chart. Huh? You can't see it?
I said, I don't even got to look at it. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. You can't tell me that ain't just consolidation sitting at the top of that chart. And that's on the 4-hour. Then we go to the 1 hour. Then we go to the daily. Then you go to the 1 hour. They all agree. They all agree that this is consolidation at the top of this chart. So when I sold my S&P play and my QQQ plays It was because I said, hey, it's going to the top. Like, let me just wait. If it pulls up, it's cool. Let me let it pull back some. So at least I can have a $10 range before I fall up in that day. So if we seeing it's sitting at the top of the chart like that, as investors and as traders, we supposed to say, hey, bro, let me sit that one out for a second. Because here's what I want you to understand, y'all. Watch this. The market will reward your patience. Let's go a little further, Jose. Come on. The first thing y'all could have did, let me get this iPad going, boy. Listen here. Once I learn how to start drawing on it, it's over. Once I learn how to start drawing on it, it's over. All right, let's go a little further. Where we at, Jose? The Fed's trap for inflation. Here we go right here. I want to just talk about this right quick, and we talked about it before. I said this before. I said the Fed is taxing the middle class, and here it's a dilemma on the way, right? Here's what I want you to understand. 30-year mortgages are now at 6.5 to 7%, doubling the payments versus 2022. Credit cards are now up to $1.3 trillion in debt, right? So what does that mean also for homeowners? I wrote this down and I figured this out. I said, oh, this is crazy. I never even thought about that. Watch this. Because of the rates that they have a thing called rate lock. Most homeowners right now, if you bought your house in the last 2 to 3 years, you was called rate lock. You're locked into that rate because of where they at. I just looked at, I said, wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. So I just want us to keep in mind that we need to watch what we hear this week in Jackson Hole. And that's why I told the Patreon people, I said, hey, listen, y'all, I'm okay with not making, I'm okay with letting the market do what it gotta do this week because I wanna see what happens at Jackson Hole. Now, the only move we made this week was we put a put on Palo Alto, we put a put on it only because we wanted to protect ourselves a little bit from earnings. It popped up $11. Like, all right, cool, we get out of the put, I'm okay with that. I was willing to sacrifice a little bit on the downside to protect me on the upside. I was willing to take a small loss on the downside to protect that. I was cool with it. Other than that, when they got information like this coming out, I'm mindful of how I invest. I'm mindful how I get in the market when I'm aware of any type of fundamental catalyst that can sway the market one way or another. As a trader, any kind of trader, it is your job to be aware of what type of fundamental news is coming out this week that can sway you one way or another, that can sway the market. Because you can have, watch this, you can have the perfect setup, but your perfect setup don't account for a tweet. Your perfect setup don't account for a news headline. Your perfect setup don't account for what Jerome Powell say about the Fed, and then because everybody think we're gonna get an 87% chance of a rate cut, and he say, nah, we ain't gonna cut the rates. Your perfect setup is wiped out the window when that happens. It's part of the game. So you either decrease your position size, you tighten up your stop loss, or you decide I'm gonna just sit on the side till I hit this off. Now here's the thing that's gonna hurt most of y'all. If the good news come out and the thing pops up, you gonna now start chasing the pop up. All right, let's go a little further. Drones and diplomacy. Drones, dollars, and diplomacy, right? Under the proposal seen by the Financial Times, Kyiv and Washington will also strike a $50 billion deal to produce drones and Ukrainian companies that have pioneered the technology since Russia's full-scale invasion of 2022. Kyiv shared the proposal for new security deals with the U.S., which have not been previously reported, in a list of talking points with the European allies ahead of the meeting with Donald Trump in the White House on Monday, according to the people familiar with the matter. Here's the crazy part, bro. Like, I remember Donald Trump said this, and bro, this dude can sell Ukraine, bro. He know how to get it. Like, he is fighting for his country, bro. And, hey, he like, I don't care. I'm fighting for him. So he coming back and he talking and he doing what's necessary to fight Russia. Now Trump met with Putin. He's met with him. I truly think that he wants the war over. I think there's some kind of way that he can kind of leverage something with America doing in that some kind of way. But here's what I do know. We ain't gonna hit the end of it once he stopped this war. We ain't gonna hit the end of that. We not gonna hear the end of that. Look what I did. I'm the only one that can do this. I was the only one that was able to get this done. People been killing each other for 8 years. I'm the only one that can come here and stop this from happening. Without me, what would happen? I'm the smartest person in the room. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Y'all know y'all, come on. Let's go a little further, man. All right, how America runs the world's wallet. The U.S. punches way above its weight in the global economy. Even though it only makes up just 4% of the world's population, the U.S. holds a massive share of global financial power. 2/3 of all stock value come from U.S. companies. And its bond market alone is worth over $58 trillion, which is about 40% of the world's total. The dollar dominates global trade, being used in 90% of all currency transactions, and nearly 24 million Americans are millionaires. That's crazy. That's crazy. Now, what I will say is, we already know how powerful America currency is. Now, I get it. People are saying that, bricks and all that. But here's the crazy thing. The last 2 years, the American dollar's usage has increased. It hasn't decreased. In 2023, it was down, but 2024 and 2025, the American dollar usage has increased. That's an interesting stat. That is an interesting stat. Now think about this. America, when you think about it, when I was in China, I thought about this. I said, yo, it made me realize something. I said, yo, America really is small, because we don't get a chance to see that. We don't really understand how small America really is. We got 380 million people over here, bro. Maybe 400. Bruh, that's not big at all. But look at the value. The bond market is $58 trillion. The stock market makes up over 40% of wealth in the world. Think about that. When we talked about the carry trade, what do? People get money in other places, loan it, get it, and then put it in a foreign exchange and then invest it into the American stock market. So if other countries are doing it, you live in America, you should be doing it. Oof, let's go a little further. All right. Let's get it, man. How we feeling in the chat, man? How we feeling in the chat? How we feeling in the chat? How we feeling in the chat? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's go to Q&A right quick, man.
Yo, Trav, man. How has it been, man? It's been a minute. I got a question for you. So I know you track the SPX and the NASDAQ, the QQQ and the SPY, and you just, well, to my knowledge, you just got onto SPES futures. How often do you look at that, and what else do you look at to see where the market's going? All right. So I want to know how often you look at those things, and what else are you looking at to see where the market's going, or it might go, if you catch my drift. Thanks, Trap.
Man, Miguel graduated, man. He ain't at work, man.
Right.
Man, Miguel graduated, man.
Uh-huh.
Miguel, you hit me with the, I'm at work, Trap. What's up? All right, Miguel, great question, man. Miguel been rocking with us for a long time. Man, I feel like we watching him grow, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Miguel, what I do is I look at the ES, futures, minis, and I look at the NQ. So both of them, the ES represents the future side of the S&P 500, and the NQ represents the NASDAQ or the QQQ side of the market. And essentially, Davian said the Feds is on 1-800 Trap hotline. Boy, y'all crazy. And essentially, I try to look at it the beginning of the morning and then it opens at nighttime at 6. So I try to look at it in the morning, and I'll look at it around about 8, 9 o'clock before I go to bed. It's kind of like I'll look at that, then read the Bible. In the morning when I get up, there's a couple things I look at. Me and Sean were talking about that. I look at where did it hit, so overnight high, and then I'll look at the overnight low, and I'll try to make a frame around that. I'll try to tell myself, I want to see if the market can reach that overnight high, or does it shake hands with that overnight low? And if it does that, then we know for a fact that, you know, where the ES goes, so does the S&P go. Where the NQ goes, so does the NASDAQ go. So I don't trade them. I think Sean trades that sometime, but I just square it out so I can have levels to know where I'm going at. You know what I'm saying? So if when I make and they almost mirror each other when you flip them over to the S&P, when they damn near like identical twins. So what happens is if I can put my levels, the charts be looking down there just alike. So if I can say where that overnight, now here's the important part about looking at the ES and looking at the NQ, and I'm not trying to act like I'm an expert here, you know what I'm saying? But I've been looking at it for the last, you know, just getting an understanding of the whole entire market, you know what I'm saying? But what I do know is there's 3 things you look at when you're looking at that. Well, I look at, so it's gonna be the overnight high, the overnight low, and then where the market actually opens. So I look at, if I'm looking at the ES, I'm looking at the overnight high, I'm looking at the overnight low, and then I'm looking at where the market actually opens. And so if I can find those 3 points, I box them out, and then I base the market move that day inside of that. And if it bounces above, you know, you want to see if the market can go back to where it opened at. I want to see if the market can touch that overnight high. Does it hit the low? Where does it trade at? What percentage of that range is in? You know, and it's something just to help me get a gauge for the market. And that's probably something I'm gonna start doing in the Patreon. Not doing it with everyone, but like not going through every stock, but if you can understand where the NASDAQ and if you can understand where the S&P going, you can kind of get a feel. Because my thing is, I want to just get a feel for the overall market, right? Like certain stocks gonna be individual, but if I can get a feel for the overall market, we in a good position. All right, let's go a little further, man. Great job, Miguel. All right, so let's get into this, man. Bessie Coleman. All right, Elizabeth Bessie Coleman was a trailblazing American aviator born in 1892 in Atlanta, Texas. I didn't know they had Atlanta, Texas. Damn. I didn't know they had Atlanta, Texas. It caught me off guard. She became the first African-American and Native woman to earn a pilot's license, receiving her international certification for France's Fédération Internationale in 1921. Denied flight training in the U.S. due to her race and gender, she learned French and traveled to Europe, later returning in the States as a daring stunt pilot known as Queen Bess. She performed in air shows across the country, used her platform to inspire Black communities, and advocate for aviation access. Coleman dreamed of opening a flight school for African Americans, but tragically died in a plane. I knew they was gonna say that.
Got him. Dang.
Why? I knew they was gonna say that. But tragically died in a plane crash in 1926 at the age of 34. Her legacy lives on as a symbol of courage and ambition and breaking barriers in the face of adversity. Shout out to the Queen. Let's go.
My name is Bessie Coleman. I was born in 1892 in Atlanta, Texas, into a family of sharecroppers of African and Cherokee descent. My 12 brothers and sisters and I went to school when we could, but at harvest time, we would all have to help bring the cotton in from the fields. One by one, my siblings grew up and moved away, and eventually I joined some of my brothers who had moved to Chicago. There, I graduated beauty school and worked in a barber shop. Before long, my reputation as a hard worker got me hired as manager of a restaurant. In 1914, World War I broke out in Europe, And when the United States joined the war a few years later, my brothers enlisted in the army. They were proud to fight for their country. And when they returned from the war, they told me stories about their time in France. They told about their terror when German airplanes swooped down like lightning, machine guns blazing, and about their relief and excitement when French and American pilots came to their rescue. I had never heard anything so exciting in all my life. Twisting and diving and soaring through the clouds. I just knew that I had to fly someday. My brothers teased me, of course. At that time, there wasn't a flight school in America that would teach blacks or women of any race. But a customer at the barber shop where I worked was just as excited by the flying aces as I was. His name was Mr. Robert Abbott, owner of the Chicago Defender newspaper. He told me he knew for a fact that the flight schools in France were teaching women and blacks alike. I knew then what I had to do. I saved every penny I could and studied French at night until I could speak it, read it, and write it. When I had the money, I applied to flight school, got my passport, and set sail for France. Before long, I became the first black person in the world to receive an international pilot's license. And when I returned to the United States, I became the first black woman and the first Native American to receive an American pilot's license. I traveled the country putting on spectacular air shows. Barnstorming, they called it. Dazzling crowds with loop-de-loops and figure eights. Then swooping down just feet above their heads. I flew for events honoring black veterans of World War I like my brothers. Everywhere I went, I did all I could to encourage other women and people of color to pursue flying. I earned enough money to buy my own JN-4 biplane, known to aviators as a Jenny. My dream was to one day open a flight school that would teach everyone without discrimination. I was making great progress toward my goal when tragedy struck. In the middle of an air show in February 1923, my Jenny's engine died. I made a crash landing, breaking my leg and several ribs. It was a terrifying experience, and I lost my plane. But I wasn't going to let one accident ruin my dream. I didn't fly for some time, but I did accept speaking engagements all over the country. On a trip to Florida, I met the Reverend Hezekiah Hill and his wife Viola. They were so kind. They came to be like a second mother and father to me. I lived with them for a time and opened a beauty shop to raise money for a new airplane. I told them about my crash, and they begged me not to fly anymore. But as much as I respected their opinion, I felt it was what I was born to do. I began doing air shows all over the country once again, even in segregated states. But if I saw a whites-only entrance to the air show with a separate entrance for people of color in back, I would give the organizers a piece of my mind. I was the one who had mastered flying. I was the one putting my life on the line. And there wasn't going to be a show if my friends and family were going to be disrespected when they came to see me. Finally, the organizers agreed that everyone could use the same entrance, regardless of race. It was a small victory, but a step in the right direction. Eventually, I saved enough money to buy a new Jenny. It's hard to know whether I should have listened to the Hills when they tried to talk me out of flying, but their hearts broke when they received word the following year that I was killed while doing a test flight in my new plane. Tens of thousands of people mourned my passing at memorial services in both Florida and Chicago. I didn't live to realize my dream of opening a flight school, but shortly after my death, a World War I veteran by the name of William J. Powell founded the BESSIE Coleman Aero Club. You see, I had inspired him, and he not only became one of the first black pilots in the U.S. military, but he spent the rest of his life helping African Americans to design, build, repair, and fly airplanes. I'm grateful that my courage and resilience inspired others to aim for the sky.
Say, bruh, when I hear that, man, I'm so inspired by that, and I'm gonna tell you why, bruh. I'm gonna tell you why. I got a question for everybody to listen to this show. Does your death move the needle? Does your death move the needle? Right? Like, we probably just not hearing about her, but we not in the airplane world. Right? But if we was in the aviation world, what's the chances of us knowing who Bessie Coleman is? Now, we should know who she is. Right, but we do know for a fact that in the aviation world, her name moved the needle. And when I hear stuff like that, bruh, man, somebody called me today, Jose, and told me something so powerful, bruh. They said, say, bruh, I can't believe you posted you lost $200,000 today. I said, bro, that's about I said, in my time of trading, that's probably like the 15th time.
You gotta check the algorithm.
I'm like, boy, you better go. I'm like, bruh, that ain't, what? He like, bro, you crazy. I said, nah, bro. I said, I want you to know something. I say, I watched Bill Ackman. I said, I watched that boy lose $400 million on Netflix during the pandemic, right after the pandemic. He lost $400 million. I said, now imagine how I'm looking at that. He said, I said, guess what my mind told me? I can't wait till I can lose $400 million. He said, nigga, you crazy. I said, say, bro, I can't wait till I can lose $400 million. I said, because guess what? He lost the $400 million and he ain't budged. Because right before that, he turned $20 million into $2.2 billion in one play. I say, bro, that's the nature of the game. The problem is, and this ain't me talking down on nobody, please don't take it as that. Lord, don't make the clip thinking I'm talking about somebody. When we don't see money in a different way, we worship the money in the way that we see it. When we don't see money in a different way, meaning, I'm looking at the 400 M's like, okay, in my mind, for him to put 400 in a play, that wasn't his last 400. And he accepted the fact that I can lose 400 in this play probably to make $1 billion. But something happened and the market swung against him and he had to say, hey, damn, I gotta take the L. But look how many times he done doubled that since then. And before that, he had the confidence to turn 20 into 2.2. I think it was 20 to 2.2, or it was 200 into 20, something like that. But it's because he understood the possibilities and he understood the market. It was never about the money. Watch this. The money you make in the market is a byproduct of your belief in the market. Let me write that one down too. God damn. Right? So, watch this. So the first part of the statement was about your belief. Your lack of belief is why you worship the money the way you do. And all I mean, I don't mean you actually worship it. What I mean is your lack of belief in your ability to make more money than you ever seen in the market is the thing that keeps you enslaved by the money that you currently have. Now, here's what I mean. Because you don't truly believe in what you don't truly believe. Like, here's the thing. It's fun when you making money, but you don't truly believe. Man, this is about to be good. You don't truly, I gotta stand up a little bit for this one. Watch this. You don't truly believe that you can make $1 million in the market. So you don't treat the market like you can make $1 million in the market. You treat the market like you can only make a couple thousand in the market. And so what happens is you start capping your belief in the market. You gotta be willing to take the cap off your belief in the market. And watch this, your belief don't have to match your skill level in the beginning, but your belief is gonna make you get better at the skill. Okay? Watch this. The belief is what makes you understand that it's possible. Okay, let me dig a little deeper with that. Your belief is what wires you to believe that the market is the machine that can make you a millionaire. But your capability gotta catch up with your belief. That's okay. The worst part about it is when your belief isn't there and you're operating in the market, because then you operate out of fear rather than belief. Operating the market machine out of fear is gonna hurt you 100% of the time, because then every time you make a move, your decision is, I don't wanna lose this money. Instead, when you operate out of fear, out of belief, you say, I took the L, I know what that feels like, let me get better at the craft so that now I don't make the same decision again, my trade placement gets better, my recognition of the market gets better, and then it becomes easier for you to make the million. I kept saying, I'm gonna make $1 million play. I'm gonna make $1 million play. I'm gonna make $1 million play. Y'all heard me, kept saying, I'm gonna make $1 million play until, woo, I made $1 million play. Once I made the $1 million play, I said, you know what? I could buy this building with that market. And then what I did, I bought the building with the market. So the next thing in my mind is, yo, I can really go get 10 million on the market. Guess what's gonna happen, y'all? I'm gonna get 10 million out the market. And then the next thing I'm gonna say is, yo, I can really go get 50 million out the market. And I'm gonna get 50. So what happens is my belief keeps getting bigger, and then I just keep making the skill set match my belief. The biggest issue you having is your belief ain't there, so you can't work on the skill set. You can't work on the skill set if you don't believe it's gonna work first. Oh man, they ain't listening to me right now. They not listening to me right now. They're not listening to me right now. You're not listening to me. You can't get better at a thing if you don't believe the thing is gonna change your life. If you treating the market like a hobby, you only gonna study like it's a hobby. You gonna watch a couple YouTubes here and there, like, I'm good. You gonna listen to me a couple times, I'm good. You go to all the different trading platforms, and when it don't work with me, you're gonna go to Aristotle. When it don't work with Aristotle, you're gonna go to Black Rob. When it don't work with Black Rob, you're gonna go to Terra. When you go to Terra, you're gonna go to Tay Sweat. You go from Tay Sweat, you're gonna go to whoever else. You're gonna keep going to all them different people because you're gonna think it's them instead of saying it's me. I'm treating it like a hobby, so I'm getting hobbyish results. I'm treating it like a hobby, so I'm gonna get wins and losses like it's a hobby. But when I treat it like it's gonna change my life, then the game actually starts to change my life. And so now I can show my, hey, 220,000, bro, that's light work. It's not me bragging on financially my space, it's me saying, bro, watch this. It hit me for 1.5 million in April, my nigga. I'm 90% back on that. Nigga, that cakewalk. Cakewalk. So you cannot get better at the game until you actually start believing in the game. Somebody in the Patreon hit me today and say, Trap, I'm glad I don't see a lot of Trap, what we doing? I say, that's because we getting better. I say they getting better, they getting more, they understand it. Hey, we all right. We got to play till December, January. We all right. Jose, bro, this picture is pissing me off, bro. I don't got no haircut, bro. This is disgusting, bro. Why you play me like this, bro? I look dirty, dog. You heard me? You and Steve, bro, I won't fight both of y'all, bro. Straight up, dog. Change the thumbnail immediately, bro. God.
It's
I
gonna be
ain't, bro, I
changed.
can see I got all the, bro, I don't got a, bro.
Oh man.
And I'm gonna tell you something, Jose be getting the worst pictures of me, dog. Every time I speak, he be like, yeah, I got these, I be like, bro, I don't want them.
Nah,
Every time I'm speaking, bro, Jose I be like, bro, I can't post none of these
Don't do
pictures.
that. Don't do
He
that.
be get, bro, you be getting me he be getting me looking like Louis Armstrong, my jaws be
Nah. I'ma post some.
Let's go for it, man, let's go.
Yo, Trap, what's good? Yes, man. Thank you for taking my question, Jose. I appreciate it. My name is Eddie Rua, and I'm one of your day ones. You know what I mean? I done took all the courses, the fintech course. I took the very first option course. You know, the one with the Louis bag joint. I don't even think I ever missed a day of Trappin' Tuesdays. But I just got 2 quick questions for you, Trap. First of all is I've been trading options on my brokerage account, and the IRS got me. Like, I had to pay a lot of bread back to them. So I just want to know, do you think it's wise enough to do it on my Roth IRA instead so that I don't get taxed? And because it's gonna stay in there anyway, that's my long-term joint right there. So I'm just gonna keep on flipping it and flipping it and flipping it. And the second question is, I see that every so often you put the new options courses in, but I took the very first option course, you know, the one with the Louis bag joint. So do I have to buy the new options courses to get the new information, or do I log into my Wallstreet Trapper account to get the new information on there? So I just want to know that. Oh, I just want to thank you so much, man. Thank you for everything that you do, man. Yo, it's because of you, my kids, my wife, me, my family's basically like, man, that's a team's call, but it's all right, though. I'm at work and all that, so that could wait, though. And thank you so much, yo, Jose. Thank you so much. And just for good measure, flush Jose for me, dog. Flush him for me, dog. And oh yeah, I remember that day in Harlem we met. I met you. You took a picture with me. I got that joint pinned on my Instagram. So, yo, let me get off this phone because I'm at work and they wilding right now. So, peace out, man.
Bro, from now on, when you call here, y'all, if y'all don't got that kind of energy, I'm flushing y'all. Straight up, bro. If you don't got that kind of energy when you call here moving forward, I'm flushing you, family. That's what I'm talking about, man. Hey, man, I appreciate it. And I like that shirt, man. I like that shirt, too, man.
He was like, salute to Jose, but you know what? For good measure, flush him.
Flush him. For you, bro. We flushing Jose for you, family. We flushing for you. We flushing it for you. All right, let's answer the 2 questions right quick, Jose. Here's what we're going to do. First on the list is, yes, use the Roth IRA, family. For right now, use the Roth IRA because Uncle Sam is like, yo, he wants you to pay him for everything, bro. Everything you do, he want in, bro. I'm telling y'all. He want in. So, yes, use your Roth IRA, family. But remember, you can only put $7 grand a year in there. So you got to be mindful of how you getting in plays when you using your Roth IRA, right? You want to be mindful of that. So yes, use your Roth IRA for that. Second, nope, you do not have to buy the options masterclass again. If you bought it one time, all you got to do is log in there after the Louis bag part, go to the bottom, and there's some more things we added, the sauce, all these other things. We added that. Second, I got to go out of town. When I come back in, we're going to start adding some of the technical components. So at least by, I want to make sure they right. We're going to start adding some of we're going to do it all together. We're going to start shooting the films for the technical parts, and we're going to add that to it too because we want y'all, I'm going to probably do 2 of them though. I'm going to probably do one, you can just understand how I make plays and put in there, and then we're going to just do a technical analysis course. But that's going to just be later on in the game. But we're going to add like that way you can follow my method on how we make plays, what we doing moving forward. So yes, all you got to do, family, is log into your options masterclass, and it is in there because that first formula didn't change. Then and you go around there, it's in there, man. But I just want to tell you more than anything, bro, thank you for just being a day one trapper, bro. Like, there's so much gratitude that comes into me, you know what I'm saying? He was about to tell us how much money he made. He's like, hey, I'm at work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but the phone call came.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't put it out there, you hear me?
Throw 'em off.
Sometimes you gotta keep it single, you hear me? But thank you, man. I appreciate you, man. Tell a wife, tell a kid, tell a family. Trap said, what's up? Salute you for leading your family to the promised land, bro. Keep trapping, keep getting money. And I like the fact that you got a job because you're using that work job to fund them accounts and get that bread, bro. Salute to you, man. Love. Money Machine for all the time. Let's go, man. All right, so watch this, man. From bots to billions. This was important. Watch this. From bots to billions, I wrote this down, right? Watch this. Morgan Stanley projected that AI could inject up to $16 trillion into the S&P 500, boosting its market cap by 29%. The estimate hangs on rapid AI advancement and widespread corporate adoption. While Wall Street debates the scale, Morgan Stanley sees AI as a long-term game changer for the markets. Now, here's what I wrote down to that. Here's my caveat to that. While AI 100% will, I like standing up. This give me that flow right here. Yeah, man.
Remember back in the day, you ain't
Yeah.
even had no chair.
3 hours.
Did the whole drink.
3 hours in the front.
In front of the
In the
desk.
front. I'm gonna start standing up.
With the
dog.
glasses.
I'm gonna start standing up, dog. I like standing up. Give me up a little bit on that screen. Give me up a little bit. I mean, come down a little bit on the screen. Just a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna start standing up. I like that. I like. Hey, boy, I'm losing weight too. Come on, boy. Come on, huh? Come on, huh? At 184. Come on, huh? 184. Come on. Down. Right there.
Go.
Good. I'm at 184. Come on now. All right, so here's my thing about AI. I think AI is dope. I think AI is good. I think it's here to stay. But I will say this. There will be a time where Wall Street has to show, watch this here, Wall Street and big companies will have to show investors the profitability of AI. So right now, companies are getting away with saying, we dumping all this money in AI. We dumping all this money in AI. And everything has an AI component to it, 100%. But there will be a time. Now, here's the thing. Until Wall Street until investors make companies say it, companies won't do it. But here's the thing. The minute companies have to start saying, this is the profitability of all the AI we putting in, I think we to the moon. But I will say it has changed because I remember in 2023, all you had to do was say AI on your earnings call and your stock was going up. AI. And they had a tracker. The average call in 2023, they were saying AI at least 32 times. On the phone call, AI. So I think until that happens, yeah, man, Sir James, yeah, man, I'm trying to get down. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm trying to get down to 180. I got 4 more pounds. Once I get to 180, we gonna switch the workout up. I won't be lean, man. I'm 43 years old, bro. I won't be in the best shape of my life, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking the peptides. You know what I'm saying? The NAD, I get the IV. Now I'm getting into the, let me say something right quick. Damn, I know it. Before I get into this, let me say something right quick. I didn't know how powerful the hyperbaric chamber was. So I did it once, maybe like 6 months ago. But I went to this guy that had one, and I didn't know that because he has 3 of them in they consider him a hospital now. He has 3 of the hyperbaric chambers, but these are medical grade. So it's not just the ones you buy on they are huge capsules, bro.
The joint Michael Jackson used to be.
Listen, no air, I didn't realize this, bro. He broke the numbers down to me. Did you know that the air that we breathe is only 27% pure?
Mm-hmm. I've read that one.
The air that we breathe every day is only 27% pure, bro. Watch this. If you get 100% oxygen, it's almost considered, it's thin line like cocaine. It's a drug. 100% pure oxygen is a drug. So when you get in his chamber, when you breathe through the mask, you're getting 100% pure oxygen. They pressurize it, they get all the carbon dioxide and all that from around you, he said, if you do it, he said, the reason why I got into this, my daughter had Alzheimer's. It's a dad and a son. He said, the reason we got into it because my daughter had Alzheimer's. I mean, not Alzheimer's, autism. He said, my daughter did it. We did it for 10 years. Every day, 5 times a week. And it changed her.
That's fire. That's fire.
He said, we did it every day. He said, so I went and bought a machine to put in my house. He said, we bought a machine, we put it in the basement. He said, bro, we did it every day. So he had to go to this company, get certified to do it. He said, we did it every day for 10 years, and it changed her life. He said, bro, she went, he didn't say bro, but he was like, she talking, everything. I was like, yo. Then he showed me the list. And he said, you cannot, remember I told y'all a while back, America bought the word cure. So you can't, that's why you can't say it. Because America bought it. And they almost outlawed it. So that's why you hear people that's holistic, they can't say the word cure. Because if they say cure and it goes on the wrong thing, America can sue you and make you, that's why they brought Dr. Said, because he used the word cure a couple of times. But that's a whole other story. But bro, he showed me the list. This thing can heal Alzheimer's, dementia, HIV, simply because, but what happens is, the more intensive the disease is, the more intensive of the pressure you gotta do. That's what changes it. But it can aid and hit because you getting no disease can live in 100% pure oxygen. Bruh, blew my mind, bro. I got in the Patreon and was like, hey! Hey, y'all! But let's go a little further, man. All right, let's go a little further. But that blew my mind, bro.
How much it cost?
I don't know how much one cost, but the sessions cost $250 a session.
How long they, hour?
1 hour. You got to stay there for 1 hour. 1 hour, $250 a session. But it's the medical grade, though. He said, because some of them, they not medical grade, so you still be letting in some of the carbons. You know what I'm saying? But his, like, boom. Like you getting in a little, yeah, it's crazy. Anyway, .com or AI. Is AI the next internet or the next .com crash? Now, here's the thing. I'm so torn between this because I feel like the internet, so watch this. The .com bubble actually stayed, because think about it. The .com bubbles when you had stuff like Yahoo. You remember when America Online was just a thing, right? Cool. What happens is, just like right now, everybody starts to create .coms. And then what happens is the good companies stay up and then they acquire so many companies and everybody else fall off. I think that's what's happening right now with AI. I think there are gonna be some solid companies that's really strong that can withstand, and then there's going to be a crash. There's going to be a moment where like everybody gets wiped out, 100%. But there are gonna be some that just stand and they're gonna make it. And so what I would tell everybody is, when you're looking at a .com, when you're looking at an AI company, make sure you understand exactly what they do, but make sure they're also, hear me here, they're not just a replica of something that's already out there. They actually have defined something that they can either be acquired by another company or they can be a standalone company. So if you think about Palantir, they did something that nobody else was doing. So I don't think another company is going to acquire them, so they stand by themselves. So you see companies like NVIDIA acquiring these other companies. So as an AI company, you either going to be acquired by a big dog or you're going to get wiped out. So I do think it's a little bit of both. I think the AI will keep growing. I think we're still in the early stages of it. I think it's going to keep growing. They're going to keep evolving. And then it's going to be a wipeout. It's going to be a full flush. And it's going to wipe, because think about the .com bubble, it's a bunch of companies that stayed, but it's a bunch of them that just got flushed out. Because at some point, the Wall Street gonna be like, that's why I said earlier, There's gonna be a point where Wall Street starts saying, how much is this making you? We letting you spend these, like Mark Zuckerberg, you spending 200 million. Bro, just think about this, bro. You fresh out of college, and because you good at AI, you could get a job at Facebook paying $80 million a year. Right? Like, bro, he done paid 4 people 8 figures, bro. Listen to me. The AI infrastructure is gonna be huge, 100%. But Wall Street is gonna now, and at some point, it can be 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, because they saying, hey, yo, we building the infrastructure. We building the infrastructure. That's what the new world looks like. We already know the new world is AI-driven. Businesses, AI-driven. Everything we do, AI-driven. But it's gonna be a point where Wall Street says, where's the profitability at? And the minute them companies can't start producing that profitability, that's when the wipeout starts. So just, yeah.
How long you think before, like, if you think it's gonna be a bubble, how long you think? Just
I don't know.
come on, give me that traps to diamonds.
I don't know, because I've never been in one. I was a kid for that. I didn't understand what that was when it was going on. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It just depends on.
I just never thought about it on the company side. I know I've been thinking about it on the content creation side of it, but the company side,
Yeah, that's
the
going.
infrastructure side,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen, bro. That's what's gonna happen. The minute Wall Street starts saying, all right, show us the money. Show us what is the ROI on you spending 400 billion on AI? What is the companies like Facebook? You know, we spending 78 billion. We spending, all right, NVIDIA, like, where's it at?
Right, how
Where's
you
the
gonna
money?
get that
Now, of
back?
course, NVIDIA different because they making money hand over fist, right? But there's, we like, yo, we letting you spend 200 million, 300 million, 400 million. We letting you spend 2.5 billion on AI infrastructure. Where's the return? Because Wall Street wants to see the return on their money. The thing about Wall Street is they are a forward-looking mechanism. So they gonna look into the future, but you're gonna have to address the present at some point. And when they start wanting answers for the present, that's when you're gonna start seeing because this is gonna happen. One company gonna say, we don't got it. The next company gonna say, we don't got it. Next company gonna say, we don't got it. Next company gonna say, and you're gonna start seeing them go down the drain. And then that's when Wall Street gonna start saying, hey, get them out of here. And if you holding that company, that get flushed. Whoo. Beyond Meat. Zoom. Peloton. We're seeing on a rabbit hole. Let's go. I see your mind going right now.
So
Say
two
it.
things. This is a good topic as far as for
Say it,
clip.
say it, say it,
You
say
know what
it.
I'm saying? But then I am thinking about, all right, how are they making the money back other than subscriptions and things of that? And they like open AI is like, all right, we're gonna charge you the 20. Now again, I know they are getting you into the more of a lifestyle type situation. Like, yo, I need you. You know what I'm saying? Similar to like the ecosystem we got with Apple. Say, yo, I'm gonna buy more, but I'm
But
trying to
people
figure
don't
out
really-
forward thinking.
I don't know if people really, but maybe it's just me. But I think it's a difference because if you took AI from people right now, what would happen?
Right now,
So that's what I'm saying. So right now, so that's it.
Yeah.
So right now, people are still,
getting acclimated.
all right, because they, you know, all right, we still do this and it's a part of our lifestyle, but it hasn't become the thing that majority of the people lean on,
Yeah.
right? Like with Apple, if you take Apple away from somebody, like you put me on an Android, bro, I'm lost.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So their whole goal is to get
To get you there.
integrated.
But they're
Yeah.
not there yet.
Right.
I think it still has I don't say it has a long way to go, but it has some time. But it is becoming that, right? It's becoming part of that. But at the same time, you gotta think, you paying what, $20 but you gotta think about it from a bigger scale, not just that. Like I saw the lady, she doing AI, but what happens is it's gonna come from a business, and they got business now that's saying, yo, we not hiring no sales team, it's all AI agents. Right, they got medical world saying, hey, it's AI, right? So it depends on how far before it's fully integrated into society before. That's why I say I don't know. It depends on how far integrated it gets into society when Wall Street wanting to start seeing them numbers. You know what I'm saying? So once Wall Street starts saying, you know what, bro, we've been letting y'all go for 3 years. Now, remember, we probably been in it for longer than we realize we've been in it. But as far as it being a thing, I'm going to say 2022, 2023. Now, don't get me wrong, they had it before then. But like 2022, 2023, that's when it really became AI. So you still in the beginning of it, right? So you talking about, I'm gonna at least say another 3 years. But here's what I heard. I heard something that said the AI it's coming so fast and it's doing stuff so fast, what you think may take 6 months to develop now because it's getting so many people use it, scraping so much data, is the 6 month thing now taking 2 days.
The compound effect.
Yeah, so it's a thing. So I'll say that, man. The minute it becomes ingrained in, we're gonna see. You gotta think, even OpenAI, he keep having to raise money. And then the next thing becomes, where's the energy to fuel it?
That's yeah.
Now you got companies dropping the AI things in the ocean.
Fuel it and cool it.
Yeah, to cool it. So yeah, let's go a little further, man. Oh, he killed it. He killed it. Good. All right, who really owns the AI chip fragments? I think this is totally the key to success in this game, right? You've heard of NVIDIA and Elon Musk, but they don't actually own or make the chips. TSMC in Taiwan produces 90% of the world's advanced chips. They done scoped it up a level. Samsung is second, powering chips for NVIDIA and others. ASML, which is in the Netherlands, holds the monopoly on the, I don't know what that word is, machines that make these chips possible. China, SMCI, is catching up but still years behind. NVIDIA designs the top chips like H100, but relies 100% on other people to manufacture them. So think about this. Now you gotta ask yourself, who makes the chips for NVIDIA? Who makes the chip? That's what you're gonna win at. There's a difference between designing and manufacturing it. There's the designer, there's the manufacturer, there's the people that put the pieces in it. So you want to actually understand who is it that makes it. So think about TSMC, Taiwan Semiconductor. They make 90% of the world's chips, right? They done increased it. So here's what we need to learn. That's a company, no matter if you believe in AI, it behooves you to own this company. If you want to own NVIDIA, you want to own it, but you gotta own TSMC. They make, without them, we don't have chips. You feel me? So when you think AI, that's what I mean by when you think AI, you gotta think who is responsible for us getting it. Yes, NVIDIA gets all of the, they the big dog. The CEO is, you buy into him more than you buy into the NVIDIA. So he became the personality. But we got to ask ourselves, who are they going to? You feel me? Because that's where the real moat at. The real moat is in the person who NVIDIA goes to. Samsung is second, powering chips for NVIDIA and others. That's how you got to think about the game. So when I say, if you're going to be all in on AI, you got to be with, like, think about it. He's so all in, they told America, NVIDIA, AMD told America, hey, we'll give y'all 15% of our revenue. You know how much money you got to be making to tell America, hey, I'm going to give y'all 15%, bro. Y'all can have 15%. You feel me? That's the thing. Which is why I like AMAT so much, because they be pissing me off right now. I don't understand it. But they are essential for chip manufacturing. They are essential for chip manufacturing. KLAC, essential for chip manufacturing. VRT, responsible for the cooling of the chips. They are the leading coolant. You need them. So if you're going to think about AI, you're going to think about AI needs chips. And if you got chips, there's some essential companies that you got to own when you think about owning AI. There's some essential companies that you got to own. There's some essential companies that you gotta own. Let's go a little further, man.
What's good, Trap? Shout out to you. Shout out to the Patreon. Shout out to Trappers Worldwide. Thank you, Jose, for taking my question. I have a question about just allocating my funds. I got about $2,500 a month. 1,000 that I'm doing to my options and buy and hold, and then I got about 800 that I'm doing to a home loan, and 700 that I'm doing to my emergency savings. So I know he said to have at least about $2,000 that you wanted us to have in our account for emergency savings, but my goal is about a year. So my question to you is, do you think that paying off debt is considered as an investment? And then also, once I get to that certain point with my emergency savings and my home loan debt being paid off, what else do you think that I should do? Should I go all in on my options / buy and hold, or should I do something different? Thank you, Trap, for everything that you do. Shout out to the community, squad. Keep trapping. Salute to y'all. Appreciate it.
Such a great question, King. I think you are on the right track for what you're doing. Here's what I would say I should do. I think I heard you say you want to pay off did you say credit card or home? I know he said he's investing to get the 2,000, right? So let's get the 2,000, right? Let's get the 2,000. I think that's essential. I know you said you had 20 out of I think you said you had $1,000 for options and buy and hold. I think that is so dope. So here's what I think we should do every month. I think we should swap it out. I think some months we should go 600 options. Some month we should go 400 options. That we always doing 60-40, or you do 70-30. Some months you do 700 options. Some months you do, that month that you do 700 in your options account, that month you do 300 in your buy and hold. And then the next month you do 700 in your buy and hold, and you do 300 in your options. What you're doing is you helping yourself build that up. And that's just with the $1,000, which means we still got $1,500 left. I think you're doing the right thing with, I think he said paying off the home, right? Run it back for me one more time.
Let's run it back.
I missed that last part.
What's good, Trap? Shout out to you. Shout out to the Patreon. Shout out to Trappers Worldwide. Thank you, Jose, for taking my question. Just allocating my funds. I got about $2,500 a month. 1,000 that I'm doing to my options and buy and hold, and then I got about 800 that I'm doing to a home loan, and 700 that I'm doing to my emergency savings. So I know he said to have at least about $2,000 that you wanted us to have in our account for.
Yep, got it. I wanted to make sure I was on point. Yep, so that's what I would do right there. So one, keep up with the emergency savings. 700, 700, 700. Here's what I would do once I get there. 7, 14, 21, so that's 3 months in a row. If you do it for 3 months in a row, you got $2,100. Here's what I do. Once you got the $2,100, watch what I would do here. Watch what I would do here. I would then pivot. I would still put up an emergency fund, but I would go from 700 to either 500 or 700 to 250. I would per se, a 350, I mean. That way you go half. I would either go 700 to 500 or 700 to 350. You know why? Because you can never have enough in your safety account, right? Because when life, you never know how much life gonna life, right? I'm gonna say that again. When life, you never know how much is gonna life. So once you hit the primary goal is say, hey, I got the $200 up, Trap. I mean the 700, I got the $2,000 up. Boom, that's 3 months, 7, 14, 21. Right, we put that up. Once we get the 21 up, then we split it in half. We say, you know what, Trap? Now that I got the 2,100 up, guess where I'm going, Trap? I'm going 500 a month. I'm going 500 a month for the next 2 months. And this is what I'm doing though. I'm taking the 200 and I'm putting that not to the options and buy and hold, I'm putting the 200 to the home loan. So now instead of putting the 800 on the home loan, we hitting them with the 1,000. Or we can pivot and say, Trap, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go 100 more to the home loan because the 100 more to the home loan helps you out so much more. And I'm gonna go 100 more to my buy and hold and my options. So now you're putting up 1,100 in your buy and hold and your options, and now you're doing 900 on the home loan, and you done that in 3 months. You done that in 3 months. You ahead of the curve now. Now here's what I would say: the next goal from 2,000 is, guess what? 5,000. The next goal from 2,000 is 5,000. So now you done went from 2,100, and guess what? You can do that in no time if you're doing a 500. If you're doing a 500, that's 1 month, that's 2 months, that's another, what? That's 6 months. So now in 6 months, you got $5,000 put up. Hey, you cooking. 6 months, you got $5,000 put up, and here's the dope part about it. Not only do you have $5,000 put up, but you also now are paying down the home loan, and you are also doing what? Investing in the market. Bro, you're hitting them from all 3 angles. You can't lose. You can't lose right here. Now, the thing that's gonna be important to you in this moment is discipline. You gotta have, the discipline is the thing that takes us out. Yo, I don't wanna do this, I don't got time for this, the discipline is the thing that takes us out. Keep the discipline. Stick to the game plan. You pivot. Once you hit the 2,100, we're gonna pivot. We're gonna go 200. It's on now. And so I think you can really do that, King. I think if you go from now to the beginning of the next year, your whole financial situation is gonna change. And I'm gonna tell you what's really dope about it. If you don't rush to get into option plays, we see the market has a small downtrend going. Well, we see that the market hasn't all the way shifted to a downtrend, but we see some selling pressure in. We already know September is a slow month to come around. Guess what? If September is a slow month to come around, guess what that means? That means you can catch the end of the year rally. That October, November, and that Santa Claus rally, yo, you're gonna make that account look so good. Let me give you a stat right quick that's gonna help you with that. Here's what I wrote down. Here's a stat I wrote down, Jose. I wrote this down. Watch this. Anytime, where my stat at, man? Okay, here we go. Anytime you get a double digit anytime you get a positive results between May, June, and July, watch this. Anytime you get positive numbers between May, June, and July, if you can get 0%, 0.8 to 0.9% in August, the rest of the year ends up giving you 5.83% return. I'm gonna say that again. Anytime you get a positive return for May, June, and July, when you get 3 positive months, May, June, and July, which is what we had, and if you can get an August at 0.8 to 0.9%, the rest of the year, you end with another 5% return. So that's saying you probably don't get a slower August, you get a down September, and you get the rally for the rest of the month. Right now, August on the S&P is up 1.2%. So you still got a week left. If you can stay above 0.8, 0.9%, you can take the discount that's gonna happen in September, position yourself, because at some point in September, we're gonna position ourselves, and then you go October, November, December. Now, here's the dope part about it. Because we understand market structure the way we understand market structure, guess what? You don't gotta be scared of September. You can keep your long plays and say, guess what, y'all? I'm gonna take I see the lower highs are happening. I got 3 lower highs in a row. Guess what? I don't gotta go long. Let me do a 30, 60, 90-day put. I'm okay. It may bounce up on me, but hey, it's okay. As long as, listen to what we understood. We said something earlier that all of us got to take in. And what was that? We said, once a trend starts, it has a good chance of staying continued until exhaustion. Well, what do we know? If we understand that September is typically a down month, we see what's happening toward the end of August. If we see this consistent, we don't got to guess. We already know, hey, we in the down month. Hey, guess what? I don't gotta go crazy, but let me put a nice little put in. I could put 1, 2 contracts in on a put just to make a little money on the downside, keep my buy and holds up good on that side. Once the market turn, I get up on my put. I may take a little loss because you're in the put, but you done made so much money on the puts because they're short term. I can make a little money. I may take a little loss, but once the market turns around, guess what? I got some confirmation that the market done turn around. We back in the uptrend. I done saw the higher high, a higher high, a lower high, a lower high. It done got on top of a high. Guess what? We back in uptrend. My long play is not gonna recover. I can get some plays at the bottom of this and ride this up to the end of the year. You doing good. Book them, Dano. Let's go, man. Let's go, man. Let's go, man. What we got?
Hey, y'all. Hey, trappers, it's me, Tori, coming up here. Thank you, Trap. Thank you for everything that you do, everything that you did. I really appreciate y'all. I miss y'all so much, but I definitely wanted to say thank you to everybody. Y'all, this experience has been something that I could not prepare for, but the love and the support that I received from the Trap group, okay? Listen, it took me days to be able to get in front of a camera and just to say thank you. But I hope you all got my messages that said just thank you for your prayers, your DMs, your texts, your calls, your donations, everything. We was able to pull off the most beautiful memorial service for my mom. And honestly, that is all that I could ask for. Just sending her away in a nice, manner. Trap, you created a community here that is unbelievable. There's no words for your community. The only way that people know about your community is actually being in the community and being a trapper, okay? When we were seeing all those messages come through, those DMs come through, those donations come through, we like another trapper, another trapper. It was just like, mind boggling. But I had to keep telling them that is who Trap is. The community that you build is surrounded about love, support, and most of all, family. So I can't say thank you enough to you, Trap, to you, Jose, to the Trapper family. I'm coming back. I'm coming back with a bang, okay? Let me tell y'all, my mama always, okay, Trapping Tuesday, always was in tune, okay? When I came down to do her dialysis, my mother would be like, are you on Trapping Tuesdays today? I'm like, yes, ma, it's on the phone, okay? And she'd be like, all right now, because Trap say, apple a day. Y'all know the rest. And yes, she did know the rest as well. So she loved you, Trap, with everything, not only for what you do, but for what you instilled in us. At this time, it's very important for us to be able to be financially stable. And again, it taught me another valuable lesson about life and death and building legacy. So although I will be rebuilding my finances from the bottom, guess what? We're going to turn up in that group. I just want to tell y'all, thank you so much for giving me the time to even, care for my mom, to even give the time to allow her to rest. I thank y'all so much from the bottom of my heart. Me, my family, my girls, we all love you, Trap. I'm a trapper for life, and I'll see y'all soon. Love y'all.
Man, Tori's so sweet, bro. I remember I met her, man. She just was willing to just do whatever, you know what I'm saying? With the group, she was willing to just help, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, I just want to tell Tori, man, thank you for just letting us be a part of this situation with you. You know what I'm saying? So I know I for sure definitely prayed for you. We prayed for you in the Patreon. We all put in, without even saying what the amounts was and all that. But we all put in, and we did it from the heart, man. We did it from the heart, and so we just want to let you know we with you on this journey. Mama, she did love the trapper. She did love the community. And you just take your time, Queen. Take your time. We definitely miss you. We definitely keep you in our prayers. We love you. We adore you. Can't wait to have you back in the trap. We miss that energy in the trap, you know what I'm saying? So we just want you to know that, man. It's nothing but love, Queen. Whenever you ready, we here for you. So we love you. We appreciate you. And that's in the Patreon and in Trappers Anonymous. So, you know what I'm saying? She in both groups. She one of my lieutenants in Trappers Anonymous. So we just want to put that out to you, Queen. Thank you. We appreciate you. Let's go. All right, man. So here it is, man. Listen, check this out. The greatest wealth transfer is here. Are you ready? Watch this. Millennials are poised to inherit $84 trillion over the next 2 decades, making them the wealthiest generation in history. This massive great wealth transfer includes stock, real estate, small businesses, and more. Boomers and older generations control 64% of America's $190 trillion in wealth. They own 37% of homes and vacation rental properties. Nearly half of millennials don't own homes. Inheritance may be their entry point. $8 trillion in privately held businesses are being passed down or sold. Listen to that again. $8 trillion in privately held businesses are being passed down or sold. Some wealth is already shifting towards gifts and financial support. The generational wealth shift is reshaping housing, investing, and broader economy as millennials gain unprecedented financial influence. I want you to understand this. Here goes some numbers. The top 10% own 90% of stocks. Wage stagnation versus asset inflation, the middle class is getting squeezed. Shelter is 5% higher. Wages in healthcare, childcare, and insurance are down while those costs are going up. Inflation is taking a bigger chunk of people's income. The 30-year mortgage, we talked about that. Watch this. The Fed is taxing the middle class. Here's what I want you to understand, y'all. A lot of these older generations, they passing down that wealth. I'm gonna tell y'all something that's a cheat code that y'all not gonna understand, but y'all gonna love it when I say it. Hear me well when I say this. If you stack your bread up, there's a lot of people that's about to inherit businesses and they not gonna want them. And that's your golden opportunity to buy a cash flowing business. They don't want to own the businesses that they people worked hard for. So you come together. Group economics is gonna be a thing. I'm telling you, that's my next phase of what we doing on some real shit, not on no BS, not on no crazy stuff, on some real shit. I want to start a mentorship group, and I'm gonna just be real with you. I want to start a mentorship group because I know people that got access to stuff, and they like, bro, they about to be selling these companies. And I'm gonna be real with you. I'm like, yeah. They're like, bro, like whatever they don't want, I'm be like, bet. I'm gonna start a mentorship group with just my people in my community. Be like, yo, here's the rules, here's the regulations, here it is, kind of like a private equity, and be like, yo, that's it, y'all. And we buying property, we buying businesses, we buying laundromats, we buying homes, we buying apartment complexes, because they doing that too. They don't want it. They don't want it. They don't want the apartment complex. They don't want the goddamn business. They don't want the laundromat. They don't want the car wash that they daddy got 15 of them, so they selling a whole portfolio. They don't want it. They want to take their money and they won't be on Instagram. They won't be on TikTok. They won't take vacation. They don't understand it. You know why? Because ignorance is bliss. And guess what? I want you to understand something. This is where we come up at. They don't want to do what their daddy worked hard for. They don't want to do what their mama worked hard for. Guess what our mom and daddy worked hard for? To put food on the table. Guess what their mom and daddy worked hard for? To build 7, 8, 9-figure businesses that they don't want. They want to sell it and get the quick money. And guess what I'm going to do? Thank you very much. So that's something I'm building out. That's something I'm putting together. I'm talking to my lawyers about it right now. Like, how does it look? How does it look structurally? And the goal is just to buy businesses and put a group together. We just buy businesses and we buy laundromats, and we ain't buying nothing complex. We buying simple businesses. We ain't trying to go buy nothing that's crazy. We buying, I'm gonna just say, y'all, we doing stuff like they be doing. Hey, you got an HVAC? I'm buying it. Or we doing HVAC. Hey, this your specialty. Hey, we buying it. You got laundromats? How many you got? You got 8 of them? Simple business. We buying it. You got automatic car washers that just need to get some people to work in front of it? Guess what? We buying it. That's what we doing. And guess what we gonna do, y'all? We're gonna wrap them all up in a big portfolio, hold it for 10 years, and then we gonna exit. We don't gotta hold it forever. It's a cheap come up. Because we're gonna get the business for less than what we gonna hardball them. Your boy know how to negotiate. We're gonna get the business, wrap them up. We got a 10-year exit strategy. It's simple, y'all. That's the goal. That's the game we playing. We using the stock market to put us in position to buy businesses. And guess what? Watch this. We're gonna close out on this. I already got the leverage because I got this building. This building is the leverage, because you know what they're gonna do? What you got before? Oh, we already got a portfolio. I got 140 units in New Iberia, and I got the building right here. That's how I leverage. And then we come with some cash. So, man, I hope y'all learned a lot tonight, man. Tonight was an amazing episode. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Listen, man, Trappin' Tuesdays, episode 156. No emotional decisions, y'all. If you're on the Patreon, man, come join the Patreon. Y'all know your boy just found out about that live feature. It's a done deal. I'm messing around and go live in the morning. You heard me? I found that live feature, man, so we going live. And it don't matter what part of You know what I'm saying? But the options tiers, the top 2 tiers, come join that for sure. Get your merch. Everything is 50% off. You don't need no code. Get your merch. Everything 50%. Not this. Not this. Not this. Trap, where the polos at? Right? Get your merch. Also, let's put the flyer up one more time, man, at the end of the show. Flyer going up, man. End of the show. We are 100% stock market in the streets, free to the public. Rodney Cook Senior Park, historic Vine City. Share it on your stories. Share it on your page. Take a picture. Let everybody know. Bring everybody out. If you coming to Atlanta, bring your people with you. Bring 5 people with you. Bring 10 people with you. We can get 400-500 people out there. We don't care. We're gonna have the mic. We're gonna have the thing. We're gonna have the whiteboard. We're gonna have the screen. We're gonna have some water, but we probably ain't got enough water for 500 people. So come as you go. Don't start tripping. We want to show the world that we can come out and learn about stocks for free and we ain't got no trouble. So if you see your ops out there, guess what? It's a kumbaya moment. It's a kumbaya moment. Our only op is poverty. We in the Martin Luther King. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. So we out there. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I see y'all in the trap, man. Let's go.